what's up guys? My name is Holly and welcome back to Chronicle. This is the home where some of my favourite boisterous people and I get together and tell some awesome stories and take you guys along for the ride. So if you're new here, this is the 4th session that we've done of our long campaign. So if you haven't caught up on that, please go and check it out on our archived YouTube. It's called @Chronicle Stream for the archives, I think.
It's linked beneath.
It's linked below. Yeah.
Get in that description.
Not so much to keep track of, I don't know. We also have a TikTok @Chronicle Stream.
Also linked beneath.
Also linked below.
Chronicle.
Click the link beneath.
-D&D.
There you go. It's there if you would like to consume some extra content. We've got some awesome art and clips and stuff, so check that out. Also, I forgot to mention it last week, but Lockie is DMing the Descent into Avernus campaign.
Yep.
So if you haven't caught up on that one, please go do so. He's an awesome DM. It was a lot of fun, and it's the perfect brand of chaos. So yeah, make sure you check that out. I think that's really all I had to say.
We've got an Instagram and I'll upgrade a Discord server soon.
Instagram, there you go. Also follow that, please. We would love to have you there. Everything is linked down below though, so check that out. And yeah, without further ado, I reckon we jump straight in. Deftly slipping through the sliver between the heavy stone doors, slowly grinding to a close behind the motley group of colourful individuals, cautiously descending the shallow staircase draped in darkness. A small, lithe creature joins them. Scuttling towards the side of the staircase, its tail swishing slightly and whiskers twitching, the creature cautiously descends the stairs, several paces behind the larger, terrifying beings that inhabit this space. Paws sticky with the same thickened, gelatinous dark substance that coats the floors, walls and ceilings. The creature begins to hop down the staircase, extending its small front paws downwards at a full stretch to reach the slick stone beneath it, and bringing its back legs forward to hop down the stairs one by one. Steadily it makes its way down, attempting to avoid the sticky substance by hopping into spots free from the ooze that surrounds it. Blobs of ooze stretch down from the ceiling, catching the flickering torchlight from the invaders of this space, and washing the walls and floors in the same dark purple hue that coats this substance. Scuttling past rusted plate mail and decaying bodies coated in thick slime, the little creature climbs over femur bones and runs swiftly along a stone bracketed by a fractured ribcage missing countless ribs and long lost to the cruel nature of time. Jaws hang open in gasps of despair as the creature dodges past, hurrying to keep time with the lengthy strides of the group of creatures ahead of them, slinking to the side of the corridor. As the group ahead comes to a stop, gathering at the base of a junction in the long, dark corridor that beckons them further into the complex, the little creature powers on ahead. Sliding through a crack in the wall of the corridor, the creature slinks along behind the wall for a few moments. Stepping over cockroaches and beetles, narrowly avoiding spiders the size of its head with their many glinting red eyes that peer outwards, and hairy arms that curl around the edges of the pockets in the stone. The creature shakes its fur and puffs out its cheeks, attempting to rid themselves of the bits of cobwebs that cling to its fur. Squeezing out of a narrow gap in the wall again as an exit point, the creature circumvents the group still arguing in hushed tones and debating the next move. As the ooze grows thicker as it coats the stone, obscuring the intricate runes painstakingly carved into the masonry long ago, a tribute to a storied figure, idolized by some but feared by many others. Reaching the final junction of the corridor, this small, daunted creature faces a choice: left or right. The partition that stands before it dwarfs it, and faint flickering lights spill over equally on both sides. From the belly of the beast below, a clanging sound rings out. Quiet, but no less terrifying for such a small individual. Its ears twitch once, listening again, before it makes its decision, scuttling close to the wall again, draped in shadow and turning down the left. Just behind the creature, a group of colourful individuals comes to a stop at the same junction, peering around the space to glean information, and hearts filled with trepidation. What would you guys like to do? The stone partition before you is relatively unassuming, though it is initially obscured by a thick layer of this jelly-like ooze. A similar set of the elven carvings that were etched into the wall of the corridor are deep enough to withstand layers of dust and gunk that drip into its crevices. On either side, the left and the right, you can see equal amounts of light spilling outwards, but nothing else is visible to you at this point.
Is there is the slime and stuff going more on one of the sides, or?
Make a perception check.
11.
11? It's hard to tell. It's pretty... Although it seemed like there was a lot of the ooze present at the top of the staircase where you guys entered and through the beginning of the corridor, it seems to have been steadily growing over time, so everything is pretty much just slathered in it at this point. You can see it kind of clinging and dripping down from the ceiling. So it's hard to tell. You might think that it possibly more on the right hand side, but it's hard to tell.
Any suggestions, anybody?
I think we best find a way out, just in case we need to leave in a hurry.
I'm gonna let you guys choose this one.
Could I lick my finger and hold it in the air to do the whole, see if there's an airflow, if there's an air current anywhere?
Yeah, sure. What check is that? Like, survival baby?
That's actually pretty smart.
Can I do a perception check? I'll roll
No,
survival.
I said survival. Roll survival.
6.
6. You lick your finger and hold it up for a second, and you just wait, and about 30 seconds passes of you just holding your finger in the air, and it doesn't seem like there's any air current that kind of moves one way or another. It just seems like stagnant, stale air.
What are you trying to do?
If there's an airflow in one direction, we can...
Great band.
That's an exit. That's an exit of some kind. Hopefully. Either that or it's a great, bit of airflow. Or just I think it will, honestly.
Do you have that idea? I think it's a good choice.
Yeah.
I guess we're going right. Oh, damn it, sorry.
Right it is!
Before we go ahead, do the tiles look like, I don't know, that maybe they're uneven, or is there any tripwire? Kind of searching for...
Ooh, roll an investigation check for me, please.
Wait a second, this isn't my character.
I'd like everyone to know he has a character called Squishy Goblin.
Squishy goblin.
That's the backup character, obviously.
Squishy.
I vote we kill A9 and get Squishy Goblin.
Short squawky night.
Yeah, apologies. Investigation. Here we go. When the dice decides to appear on my screen. If. Oh, here it is. 14?
14. The tiles within this part look relatively consistent as far as whether they're uneven or not. One thing that you do notice, though, is that beneath this layer of ooze that appears to be coating the partition, you can see the same kind of elven script that's etched into it, though this seems like a longer phrase. Do you speak Elvish?
I do not.
Are you going to point it out to the...
Would I recognise that it's Elvish?
Yes, I would say so.
Alright. Does anyone speak Elvish?
I am an elf.
I did it.
Of course.
School was compulsory.
Let's go with the fluent. The person fluent in Elvish.
Alright.
I'm literally
Person fluent in Elvish is you.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
You're making fun of me.
Do you have any idea what this says? The phrase seems different
As
to the
you
ones we saw
pointed
before.
out, the kind of wafting the torchlight over it, you catch the phrase, "The king will rise again," and it seems as if there's not necessarily an arrow, but there's a specific marking that's kind of put onto the left-hand side of it. Almost looks like an X.
It says, "The king will rise again," and it has a little X arrow kind of symbol
Is that in one of the directions?
Yeah, it's towards the left-hand side
pointing
of the
to
partition.
that way.
Would this crypt be where this king was buried? Is this the crypt for this king, perhaps? Where?
Well, we did see the word Zolgar written in Elvish down
He
before
was
that.
the folk hero, if I remember correctly from the books that I studied.
Could this be Zolgar's crypt?
Did you roll a history check?
I didn't, but I was going to ask.
Okay,
But I
go.
recognize this name.
Zolgar, yeah.
Yes. It is 22.
So what Abelard is saying about it being a folk hero is correct to some degree. Zolgar was a complicated kind of storied character almost. He was a real person, and you have seen in your time several different accounts of Zolgar, mostly on the battlefield. Though one thing that you do remember is that Zolgar, as this kind of lauded folk hero, was also often considered a pureblood of sorts, an elvish pureblood individual who was tasked with the study of magic and planar transportation to kind of prove a divine right to rule through releasing the nameless few from their various different pocket dimensions, which you also would know, I think. What did you roll? Do you remember what you rolled for your history check?
No, I remember I've got, I just have Zolgar, folk hero of our Lorian dynasty.
No worries. So yeah, you probably would also recognize it from an extra planar aspect, though maybe not as studied on it as you are. And you know that Zolgar kind of helped to establish the rule of the Elionian dynasty and the division between the now Kingdom of Acheron and the Prussian Empire. And kind of became involved with the Nameless Few and earned their favour, which eventually, as Abelard was telling you, kind of spurred Zolgar on to commit great atrocities towards the people of Wyladium, but through their connection to the Nameless Few, actually ascended to become a minor deity, and their dominion was separation. But that's kind of linked to prejudice as well.
So it's most likely that this that's written on the wall. I would think that
You
this
would
is
recognise
who it
that as a folk hero, some considered Zolgar to be a king of sorts, being an elvish pureblood individual. So it's possible, considering that his name was etched onto the corridor, that it might be related.
is. Sure. And Abelard was saying that earlier.
Yeah, what was the nameless few?
Roll a religion check for me, please.
Almost got through that.
Oh,
Six.
Lord. 6?
Censored information.
Being that you're from Larothia, you do have experience, obviously, with religion in some aspects. The Nameless Few, you know, are a group of gods that challenged the divine barrier during the War for Holy Blood, and they were ultimately defeated by their opposition. and they're kind of considered part of the pantheon of the first beings, though they are kind of rejected, and
Okay.
that people are mostly ashamed of them. Though there are some, obviously, scholars that do seek to kind of excoriate these beings from the records of this pantheon. Most scholars agree that it's important to know at least who the Nameless Few are and why they are locked into various bucket dimensions, though you're not sure yourself the specifics.
Yeah. Okay.
Would we all like colloquially like know of the Nameless Few, know that they're like even
You would
entities?
recognise the name. It's not necessarily as if they're... I guess it's not necessarily as if they're not spoken about. They are. It's just that they often tend to be taboo. So people don't speak specifically of the gods. They just refer to them collectively as the Nameless Few.
Is their worship illegal?
Roll a religion check. Also, you were going to say something?
17.
17.
Just is this information being shared? I suppose.
But they can share it
Actually,
afterwards. Yeah. So the perception of these gods may differ depending on the area in which the worshipper is from, with some areas of Cthulhu kind of possessing myths that are either censored or entirely different in their scholarly work, so there is a bias. You know with the 17 that the Nameless Few includes Shiva, the god of trickery, mischief, luck, and chaos. Hilarious, the goddess of misery, betrayal, and chance. Let me see. Gotta go through my massive document. Ontasia, the goddess of control, conquest, and madness. Still going. Vold, the god of revenge, endings, and possession. And there are several other minor deities that are kind of linked with this group. But where you're from, you know that it is illegal to worship the Nameless Few, and in fact throughout most of the Prussian Empire it is illegal. Though you know that part of the reason people are... that there are different kind of rules surrounding worship is because in the Kingdom of Acheron it's maybe not as prohibited for some of these gods. But yeah, with the 17 you're not too sure which ones in particular would fall under that category. Let me see, I feel like I missed some. Oh, my mistake. I did also miss Isaacan, which is the god of indulgence, excess, and fortune.
Excess.
Did we figure out which way we wanted to go?
I did right.
I would
so-
say left because there's actually an inscription in it, and we shouldn't follow blind luck.
But should we follow the inscription?
I think
If it
that's-
mentions like bad gods or anything like that, or like an evil
You
conqueror, maybe that's bad. That's
you got
just my.
something.
Yeah, but I feel like that would lead further into the crypt, which would further lead into ways how.
Do we want to go find the tomb or not? Is that what's the goal here?
I believe the idea was we're meant to be trying to. I assume the creature is heading towards the tomb, but like we don't really know its
Well, then
intentions.
shouldn't we follow the text that says our king will rise again?
We should if we want to go towards the crypt where the creature would probably be.
That's what I'm saying.
Alright.
Yeah, why did you disagree with me earlier when it said to go through the text instead of following blind luck?
Why are we following the creature?
Don't you want to be friends with it?
At a distance, maybe.
Oh my god.
I feel like this is backpedaling now, but anyway, let us go this way.
All right, let's go.
I trust Nadria.
You're going left?
I'm following Nadria because what
Alright.
she says what they say makes sense. So let's go.
Alright.
I'm first.
You're leading?
apparently.
Oh yeah. Lead the way.
Is there a particular way you're approaching this? Are you stealthing?
I'm pretty cautious, but I'm keeping an eye out around me. I do have dark vision up to 120 feet as well.
Are they stealthing though?
No, probably not spelled.
Okay, sure. So as Nadria strides ahead, you step around this partition carved from stone and well worn by the passage of time, and the immensity of the space before you is jarring. From the darkness of the endless corridor, marked by aging pillars and elven carvings etched into the damp masonry, coated in slick ooze, to this wide open space of the crypt proper. The area before you is sunken down slightly. A set of shallow steps leads down towards a large rectangular room with soaring ceilings. Sectioned off into smaller areas barred with wrought iron, set into archways and appearing almost as if it was a prison of some sorts rather than a crypt. This dungeon-like area boasts several barrels and crates stacked up against the sides of these bars, with a large cluster surrounding what appears to be a single desk, kind of spaced in between two of these sectioned off areas. Though the chair itself that would accompany this desk has long since been smashed. The wreckage surrounding the desk kind of leaving splinters of wood smattered across the floor, splinters sticking up and dripping with goo. Interspersed along the walls, several rectangular hollows are made into the otherwise smooth, almost blank stone. And similar to the rest of your surroundings and the long corridor that marked your entrance into this underground complex of sorts, the cavernous interior of the crypt is slathered in dark purple and blue, almost, ooze. Is kind of clinging to the intricate masonry of the pointed archways interspersed throughout the room itself. Large strands of goo kind of stretch across the interior, sloughing off and landing on the cold stone floor with a thick wet smack. And we'll get you to roll a perception check for me, please.
That one.
That one. You're so distracted by how disgusting all of this ooze is that just kind of like kind of dropping down and like sliding across the stone floor that you're just focusing on that so much. You see various different pools and kind of like coagulations of this goo and ooze kind of just piled all around the interior, that you kind of forget to look around the space a little bit.
Nice. Is anyone else going through this?
I'll inspect the desk rooms.
Sure, you're moving all the way over to the desk. It's kind of like 30 feet away from you,
I'll
I'd say.
go with him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I think they might have missed that.
Okay, so as you head over to the desk, I'll get you both to roll a perception check for me, please.
God.
Always trying my best to save them.
My dice is not. It's a 5.
5?
18.
18.
Okay.
Abelard, as you kind of stride forward, confident despite the ooze that kind of clings to your shoes and almost seems to slip with you. Kind of, you have to focus so much on holding your traction as you move forward through this kind of... It's relatively deep here compared to the corridor, at least on the floor, and you're so focused on keeping your steps light so you don't slip that you kind of are not really looking around the space too much. But Dilbert, what you see is that interspersed along these walls, several rectangular hollows are made into the otherwise smooth, almost blank stone. Plain doors accompany these rectangles with carvings made into the stone. Single words and only occasionally phrases. Around the room, the image of what appears to be a barbed circlet wrapped around a battle axe is scattered at various points, sometimes acting as a cornerstone, sometimes an embellishment on these doors.
I want one of the axes.
It's not a legitimate axe, it's like it's like it been embossed onto the stone. And as you guys begin to head towards the desk, You go past these prison-like spaces. You can see that the iron itself, what little you can see, it appears that the ooze has gone up to coat the entirety of these bars, is rusted with some kind of chinks almost in the iron bars that have been, it looks as if it's been ripped out. And you can see that there are various kind of machines almost that kind of look like racks that somebody might be affixed to as a kind of torture device.
I stop moving and hey, Avalon, I think we should stop.
I'll stop. I'll look at him like.
I halt and I suppose I wouldn't really do a whole lot. If I swing my torch, because I believe I'm holding a torch still.
I think so, if you were last session, you still are, yeah.
I wait a few seconds and kind of look around with my torch to see if something happens, I suppose.
So you're just looking for movement, or?
Yeah.
My
I
crossbow's
suppose.
also got light cast on it as well, just from last session.
Oh yes, I remember that. Okay, I'll get you to, because you're specifically looking for something, I'll get you to roll another perception check.
Can I help?
You can roll as well if you like, or you can do an assist action, it's up to you.
I have a +2.
Cool, I'll do it myself. Yeah. Okay, besides, oh, that's better. 17.
17.
I do 7, so. Or a 9, so.
For you, Dilbert, as you swing your torch and kind of waft the light over this rack, you get so caught up in the fact that this rack doesn't appear to have been touched by the ooze, and is instead dripping with a dark red substance that you would recognize as blood. Just kind of catches your eye a little bit too much. But Abelard, interestingly enough, where you stop, you can see that there is a pool of sorts. This pool of liquid before you seems almost fathomless. An endless expanse that stretches on and on, no end in sight. This ooze itself, within this deep pool, seems to swirl around, creating almost a vortex, as if it's shifting from side to side beneath the surface.
So this is like a small kind of like basin almost, or like a pond kind of thing.
It's a little bit smaller than that. I'd say it's probably only about that big.
Okay.
It just seems like it goes on forever.
Just in the centre of the room.
No, so it's kind of off to the side near. As you're approaching the desk, it's kind of at a corner junction before you approach it. So it's probably about 10 feet away from the desk.
Is that like the only thing of note I see?
On the desk, or?
Or just in general, when I did like checking for movement and stuff.
You got a 17? You notice that the ooze seems to be focused and kind of dripping heavily from the corners of this large cavernous room. But that's about all the movement that you see.
Okay.
How far away is the spiraling?
It's probably about 20 feet or so from you at the moment. Actually, 30 feet from you guys at the start of this partition, but kind of right next to Abelard and 10 feet away from the desk.
Did you announce that it was there?
How far away am I right next to Avalon?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I'll announce it to the group. There's other things. I'll be like, so it's the corners dripping more than usual, and there's pond. Did I also see like the blood dripping from the?
Yeah.
And with mine, I'll do a candle medicine check to see how fresh that blood would be if it's
Yep.
dripping.
Go ahead and roll a medicine check.
18.
18. You're a bit too far away to check But you get the sense that this blood seems relatively fresh, though it is thickened. So it's possible that it might be definitely within a week.
So this area has been accessed within the last week. There is blood that would seem to indicate that, which is weird because the door was sealed off.
I suppose we did find ooze by the tipped over cart. Perhaps someone was shipping ooze from the crypt?
Oh,
They obviously had access given them the amulet.
But why would there be blood?
Making use of.
Oh no.
Fear rolling.
I was gonna I yell into the darkness from where I'm standing.
Okay, what do you yell?
Hello! Anyone?
It sounds
Just kind of in
it's not
fear.
okay.
As you yell it, you hear back exactly what you said. Just an echo.
Does it sound like a normal echo?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just sounds like your voice just kind of pinging off the walls.
It's fine, guys. No one's here. We're all good.
Is there like a corridor or something like exit, or is it just the door surrounding us?
It seems like at the very end of the kind of near the desk itself, there is what appears to be kind of two large, almost colossal doors compared to the entrance of this cavern. It seems to probably be about, it seems to be 3 meters high.
Is it open?
You'd have to go up to the door to check. It's behind the desk, so.
Okay, but like from where I'm standing, has the door been opened, or is it like facing to its side or something?
It looks like it's closed at
Okay,
this point. It doesn't look like it's ajar.
Is there any rocks around? Just like loose debris.
Roll an investigation check for me, please.
2.
Everything is so slathered and just coated completely in this ooze that it's impossible to see. It's inches deep, so it's almost impossible to see anything below.
Okay, awesome. Instead of a rock, then I suppose I have a rope in my inventory. Can I drop or slowly lower the rope into the endless pool?
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you step up to this pool, you prepare yourself and begin to lower the rope slowly into this pool. And there's a little bit of resistance. It doesn't immediately, it's not like a liquid, so it doesn't immediately go through. But eventually you begin to lower this rope slowly, kind of having to put more effort into it than you're used to. And as you gaze at this dark pool of liquid, slowly moving around and swirling, it begins to coagulate, pulling together as if it's in a vacuum. Dropping from the ceiling above, you can see a heavy shape forming at the same time as within this pool, stretching and pulling from the space above you to drop down. Slowly from the pool itself, an arm begins to creep out towards you, clutching to the side.
Do we all see this?
I leave the rope halfway in the pool
You watch as
and run and scream.
a second hand appears.
We're not alone! We're not alone! Everyone run!
As you do that, you feel something begin to grip your ankle. I'll get you to roll a strength check for me.
Is this affecting me as well?
Can I roll dex?
It's not affecting you at the moment.
Can I roll a dex check?
Nope, strength.
12.
I rolled an 18. So you are...
Oh wait, no, that'll be, yeah, no, you would.
you are considered grappled for the time being.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Is it pulling on me or just holding me in place?
It's holding you in place at the moment.
Is that the one that's coming from the basin?
Yes, from within
Is
its
there
balls.
also an arm coming out of the ceiling?
Yes, you begin to see a shape forming, dropping down from the ceiling. You can see 2 arms dripping in ooze, but beginning to sharpen claws as it drops down heavily.
Can I?
As it drops down.
I point my
I'm gonna
crossbow
need
at it.
everyone
Yeah,
to
can
roll
I-
initiative.
Oh shit!
Gosh.
Here we go.
Cross.
We made it, guys! Woo! Come back!
Now we're gonna die.
Alright.
Fucking
Alright.
11.
It's my second one in a row.
Big reveal.
Oh, I'm excited.
Alright.
Here we go.
Hopefully everything's stayed up.
Yeah.
Xander, do you need me to do anything?
A reveal maybe when you're ready, but apart from that, you're all good.
We're gonna reveal it to them at the same time.
Get a
Yeah.
top-down camera.
Top down camera, yes.
Get real fancy with it.
Yeah. What did everyone roll for their initiative?
I got 11.
Hang on a second. Let me get the roll.
You get a 1 of them.
Yeah. My second one in a row.
Oh.
Longer is not happening right now.
See, you just gotta roll more.
Not a good
and
day
then-
for them.
Yeah.
Alright. So 20 to 15?
Oh, 19.
19? Nobody else?
Oh god, guys. Don't leave me hanging.
Alright, 15 to 10?
I got 11.
I got 10.
13.
Okay. You got 11?
11.
And 10?
10.
You have a minus 1.
She's got -1 dex.
Alright, so
Dex,
below
yeah.
10? 10 to 5?
Yep. Plus
9.
7.
What a
It's
drop.
probably
19.
Okay.
And what did Nadri get?
1.
Oh no.
Nice.
I've never rolled
Alright.
double-digit initiative before.
The reveal.
Double
Hopefully
check.
everything
That
is
happens
in
sometimes.
place where it should be.
Oh god. Oh, why do I have to go first?
Are we ready?
You're a martial class. Get with it.
What am I gonna do? Hit the ooze with a sword?
Yes, yes. It's not an ooze, it's a hand now. And it's got my leg.
What?
Ooh.
Oh, sick.
Where the fuck's that? Where am I?
Where's the vortex?
Give me a sec. Where's the vortex? I didn't have time to create a vortex, guys.
Where's the vortex?
It's so cool. That's
so-
awesome.
I'm so happy to see barrels and crates around.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
right.
What is
Awesome.
that? Oh.
No, that's not terrifying at all.
There's multiple.
There's many.
There is Evelyn.
Oh.
You're crying.
Everyone's never happy where he is.
You're done.
Which one's
Dilbert.
coming up the roof?
There he is. That's Dilbert.
I thought I was next to Dilbert.
I love him.
Yeah, I'm just showing Jack Dilbert.
Ah, cool. Good.
There you
So,
go. So
I'm
you're currently
grappled.
grappled, yes.
Cool. Everyone's got time to run. Let's do it. Ian.
We'll try it.
Sure.
There we go. And the rest of you guys, so the desk itself, you guys would be approaching from this direction here.
Okay.
If you guys have any preference as to where you
Absolutely.
I would
resistance
still
to
be near
that.
the
Yeah.
front.
Front?
I was behind.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I was behind Nadria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one up there.
Katila is that?
Well, we're behind me.
Yes. That'll be good.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Second
you
for
took
me.
leadership.
Yeah.
That's your doing.
Why did I do that?
Oh no, she can
That's
see.
okay.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Did you say you're going to be up next to?
yeah, I'm next.
Oh,
I'm next to them, yeah.
Oh, wow. No,
Yeah.
it doesn't look good. I do.
What did you say
I
their
followed
names?
them because they were the ones who were sure about where to go.
And
I am
there's
sure about
Will
the
Gale.
girls.
I thought Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo was perfectly fine.
That is terrible. idea.
Xander, do you want me to spin it so it's easier to see, or?
Yeah, that would be excellent, actually.
You know, it would be helpful if
this
you
way.
guys had to follow us in.
Oh, actually,
No way.
I might go the other way. I feel like the combat's
It's
going to
obviously
be
a try.
this section, mostly.
Aha.
Oh, that's so perfect.
Good stuff.
Good?
Paul.
Yeah, let me
Let me read you the camera. But yeah, that's much
I
better
can't wait
angle-wise.
to use my favourite thing, which is Eldritch Blast, over and over again.
If it's the best cantrip in the game,
The
why
whispers.
Yeah.
Or is it even whispers anymore?
Ooh, whispers. No,
Arguments.
It's just
arguments.
loud,
Annoying.
loud voices.
Not your being insane.
Time for some poison spray.
You better poison spray effects move.
Did you pick your spells this time?
Right.
Poison spray.
So, at the top of the round,
Literally,
we have Kruger. What would you like to do?
Oh, I'm literally first guy.
I've
then.
got the most useless spells.
You can prepare your spells every day.
I tried to tell like that.
Okay, so do I see that Dilbert's been grappled?
Yes.
Okay.
The deal with for you at the moment, you are grappled, so your movement is 0.
Yeah.
And you're currently being, like you can feel the ooze kind of climbing up as if it's trying to consume you. Kruger.
How far away am I from the closest?
What did I say before? 30 feet?
8 feet.
Oh, you said the desk was 30 foot. You said it was 20 foot for the basin.
Sure. 20 foot.
Okay, oh, that's perfect then. That's just enough. I'll use 20 feet of my movement then to get up into the fray with it
Mm-hmm.
and try to leave space so that people can get around me if they want to go fight that ooze.
I'd say you can probably get to here.
Perfect. Alright, yeah, that'll have to do. Well, I'll just say the magic words in giant underneath my sword and we'll go for a swing.
Sure.
Alright, which one's the attack die? It's a nat, I'm nat 1, but I reroll nat 1 because I'm a halfling.
Halfling cut.
That's much better. 23 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Halfling luck, baby.
Halfling luck, baby. I get to reroll 2s because of my fighting style. Ooh, yeah, ooh, 6.
Ones and twos?
Yes.
Great weapon fighting. That's halfling
Weapon
luck.
fighting, yeah, exactly. 6 plus 5, that's 11 plus 3, 14 points of damage.
Nice.
Oh, no, you don't!
Is that on the hand, on the arm?
Just in its form. I'm just like, it's like tunnel vision. I'm just like, uh-oh. Hey, and I do like a little halfling, as high as I can jump with my little body. I'm like,
Watching as your new friend Dilbert begins to kind of be drawn in further and further to this ooze, you sprint over, unsheath your sword, and begin to swing with a straight downward arc. Are you aiming for anywhere in particular?
I guess the arm.
You're trying to chop the arm for Dilbert?
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, I'll give you advantage on your next roll. You text a strength check. And you begin to just hack away, feeling your blade kind of slide against this ooze. You kind of carve into it and almost kind of separate a section of it off, and it goes onto the stone below.
Okay.
Does that end your turn? Would you like to do anything else?
Go hard or go home. I'll action surge and I'll attack it again.
Sure.
13 plus 18 to hit.
That hits. Yes.
Yes. Alright. Another 2d6 plus 3. And reroll a 2. That's better. So 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Nice.
Just kind of
Really
do
pile it
that.
on
Just do that
around.
carve and then.
Sure. So you begin to hack away at the area that you just kind of separated off the ooze, seeing more of it kind of slide off and slap onto the ground. You begin to just hack away at it and seem to make a sizable chunk out of the arm at least.
I
Though it's-
don't like goop! It sticks in between my feet!
Though it still seems to hold its grapple on Dilbert at the moment. Alright, so
That's me.
does that end your turn?
Mm-hmm.
No worries. Up next we have the oozes.
Who's bros?
Oh.
No.
I just pissed it off.
So for the strength check here that I rolled, actually for grapple, do I have to roll every single turn, or is it when they take damage? I don't remember.
I think once it's grappled, it's just grappled. And then
Yeah.
as if-
And then you have to
Basis.
break free of it, don't you?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that's their action, I believe.
Cool. So it is going to attempt to draw you in further and consume you. Dilbert.
Oh, we're glad loses.
Dilbert
So I'll get you to roll a strength saving throw for this one.
With advantage? Because
Not advantage for the saving throw, but advantage for the contested strength check.
10.
10 does not succeed. Right, so 8. Is 13 points of damage towards you as you begin to watch this ooze pull you in and kind of stretch up. You begin to clog your airways as it pulls in with its fingers.
Awesome.
You get drawn in closer and closer. And the second one here is going to move over to Kruger and is going to attempt to grapple you.
Hey, what up?
You begin to feel kind of cold, slimy hand gripping at your ankle.
This is non-consensual.
Okay.
Do I make a roll as well?
Yes, so make a contested strength check.
Strength check. Not a strength save.
No, not for this. Actually, yeah, let's call it. Yeah.
Strength save? Cool.
Yep.
That's better. I reroll once. Ooh, 17 plus 5, 23.
You
22.
succeed, yeah. So
22.
you feeling this creature kind of creep up on you, begin to kind of curl around you, first grabbing at your ankle and then bringing its other hand over to try and almost suffocate you with this ooze that begins to kind of drip down your face. You kind of anticipating that something might happen from behind you, kind of duck out of the way and kind of push back. Doesn't seem to have a stronghold on you, but it is still kind of trying to crawl around and pull you in further.
Trying to fan it away with my sword.
Alright, and that will end the ooze's turn. So next up we have Ellen. What would you like to do?
I'd like to. Could I move within 10 feet of this one?
Within 10 feet?
Yes, please.
So you don't want to be in melee range of this one? So you would have to be
because
behind...
I have poison spray that works within.
You would have to be behind them, otherwise you'd be in combat here.
Okay.
So it's up to you.
I guess I'll go there then and go for this one.
So you want to be within 5 feet or 10 feet of this one?
10 feet, please.
Sure.
I'll keep my distance.
Sure.
And I guess poison spray, that's what I always do.
No worries. Is that a save for me?
Yes.
And it's Dex or what is it?
Con.
Kill the poison ooze with poison.
That's 19.
It's 13. So you succeed.
So but do I take half damage? Okay.
Nah, succeed or suck with cantrips.
Sure, so what does it look like as you try to poison spray this ooze?
I put my hand out, all the green gas comes forward, engulfing the thing. Monster.
Sure,
This
so
is your friend. This is what Toodle would be.
I'm sorry, Toodle!
So seeing Kruger immediately dash into the fray and begin to hack away, trying to separate the hold of this monster on Dilbert, and kind of being consumed by this other one. You begin to head into the fray yourself, try to direct a poison spray, which has proved pretty effective so far, and you feel that connection to nature begin to kind of well up within you as you point your hand and kind of direct this almost lime green acidic gas that kind of curls around this monster and tries to penetrate the thick layer of ooze on top, but as you watch it for a couple of seconds it seems to just kind of dissipate on impact and doesn't seem to take a strong hold. Is there anything else you'd like to do, or does that end your turn?
I'll end my turn.
No worries. So up next we have Dilbert.
Okay, do I get to attempt to lead
Escape
the
and
grapple
grapple? Yes,
and
sir.
attack?
No. So escaping the grapple is your turn.
Okay.
So you do get advantage on it though. It's just a contested strength check. Right. What did you roll?
17.
17. I rolled a 16. So,
God, okay.
so you just managed to escape the grapple.
And then that's my whole thing.
That is your
I
whole
don't
turn.
get to disengage or anything.
No. Alright, so what does it look like as you try and escape this grapple?
As it's kind of covering my head, like, I call out to Kruger, my kind of only person I've had a chance to talk to, and I'm like, as I'm like clawing my face, and then I just like sort of rip myself out of it,
Sure.
I suppose. Or more so, I'd get my quarterstaff and I kind of just try and like start hitting frantically until it kind of gets off me.
Seeing this ooze attempting to kind of pull and block your airways with its fingers as it kind of tries to grasp at your face, you watch as Kruger begins to hack away at its arm, kind of trying to sever the grip that it has on you. And you watch as it seems to make a sizable impact, and you think, well, mustering all the strength that you've got, smack your quarterstaff into the same area that Kruger was hitting, kind of severing it completely, and it lands on the floor and you rip yourself out, kind of standing back and dropping back into your defensive move. Alright, so does that end your turn? I'm assuming?
I'm not like a bonus action or something, I don't know.
No, you don't on a grapple, that's
yes.
right, you escaped a grapple, sure. Alright, so up next we have Abelard. What would you like to do?
I guess I'll stab it with a dagger. Yeah, not much I can do, right?
What are you going to do?
I pull like the knife out of my like sleeve and then just kind of stab.
Attempt to stab it, sure.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
It's 10.
Does not hit.
Yeah.
Alright, so seeing everybody trying to carve into this ooze monster and Dilbert just breaking the grapple, the arm kind of beginning to reform, though the grip isn't strong on Dilbert anymore. You rip your... is it a dagger?
It's a dagger.
You rip your dagger out of your sleeve where it was hiding and thrust forward, attempting to stab into this gooey mass. And the blade slides in, but the monster doesn't seem to feel any pain from that, doesn't seem to pay it any attention, is kind of still attempting to go for Dilbert. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I want to retreat back like 10 foot.
So it will get an attack of
Yep.
opportunity on you. You're cool with that
Yep.
though? You're retreating back 10 feet?
Yep.
Alright. Let's see.
Oh wait, am I grappled anymore?
No, you're not grappled.
No, you're not. Oh, sorry, I'll take the status marker up. I forgot. My apologies. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, that is a 16 hit.
That's my armor class.
Alright, so it will take a swipe at you, and that will be. 5 points of damage. Alright, so different attack. As you begin to pull away after having struck at the monster before you, you watch as it did notice that you tried to stab it, and it just fleetingly swipes out at you. You feel this ooze kind of sticking to your clothes, and those sharpened talons kind of scrape along your front. It seems almost biting, and you kind of feel almost a spark or like a tingle where it scratches across you. Does that end your turn?
Yep.
No worries. Up next we have June. What would you like to do?
I want to walk forward towards the ooze, and yell at it, "What do you want?"
So how far are you walking then?
Uh,
It's within 20 of you.
within melee range.
Okay, so you want to get right up to which one?
I'm still holding a torch, by the way, as well, which I want to hold in front of me and flail a bit.
Which one are you aiming at?
The closer one.
This one here?
Yeah.
Sure. What language are you screaming in? Common?
Common. Is there any intelligible? Does it acknowledge? Is there like intelligence behind its eyes? Is there anything?
Behind its eyes.
So as you walk over to it, you waft the torch in front of its face, and you watch as it almost recoils slightly. Though as you're yelling at it, it doesn't seem to have any visible reaction to the words.
Okay.
And just kind of drops its mouth open and kind of clicks together, and that seems to be all.
Does it?
the response.
It drops its mouth open and like, is it a patterned response or is it a?
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
It just seems like a random like a video game character idle.
Yeah. But it's reacting to the flame. Do I have any more flame things? Nope. Well, I don't want to hit it, so I just want to use my dodge action to impose disadvantage on attack rolls against
Okay,
me.
sure.
Cool. That's the end of my turn.
That is 2. Let's connect that. Right. So that ends your turn. Up next
Yeah.
we have a 9. What's up?
Probably a lot of slab on the ceiling, I'd imagine.
Yes. Yes.
That took a few seconds.
Wow.
The gravity of the situation will always be destroyed by a good what's up joke.
What's up?
This the one on your right is not quite in my line of sight, is it?
Not at the moment, but you could shift to the left and right.
I think I'll shift to the left until it is in my line of sight.
Yeah, I'd see that be. Yeah.
And-
I'm assuming the quill door is with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a quill door?
There is, yeah.
I love it.
Easy.
Let me just double check. Yeah, I'd say that'd be in your line of sight there.
And as much as I'd love to cast Catapult, I'm out of spell slots.
Yeah.
So I'm instead casting Fireball.
Okay.
On the one that is to...
This one here.
Yes.
So what do I have to roll for that? Is it Dex save or do you roll
I
an
roll
attack?
to hit.
Sure.
And it is 24 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Awesome. Then it's 8 fire damage.
8 fire damage. Maths. Okay. Okay, so what does it look like as you cast Fireball? Are you still manifesting it in front of you?
I think so. Except this time I'm paying a lot more attention and maybe using my hands as well to help focus a bit more.
Sure. So as you begin to cast Fireball, going through the motions, you focus heavily on what you're creating in front of you, and you can see that ball of molten fire kind of begin to hover in front of you and kind of shift as you shape it. With your hands, you direct it straight at the mouth of this monster, and you watch as the fire seems to kind of ripple across it, and it kind of recoils in pain, hissing slightly, and you can see a bit of the ooze begins to char and burn. Almost as if like a skin. Is there anything else you'd like to do in this one?
No, Quick question. The torch that Dilbert was holding, is that still a light, or did you drop it to start combat? Is there any light around?
I would say because you used your quarterstaff to kind of
Yeah,
smack it, you would have dropped it
would've
to the
dropped
side,
it.
but it would have kind of
kind of just on the ground.
it would be on the ground, though you can see that the ooze is kind of being consumed.
So are we about to run out
It's
of
kind
light,
of
or is there light elsewhere?
So I think somebody else is holding a torch.
You've got your crossbow, right?
Yeah, I crossed
So yeah, so we have light on the crossbow and somebody else had a torch, I thought. Maybe.
Still
I
got a
think
torch.
I had a torch and someone else did, but
Sure.
I don't remember who.
But yeah, there is a little bit of light, and I'll give you this as a freebie. As you look up, there is a little bit of moonlight streaking through, but it's very faint.
Alright, well, if it's still illuminated enough, that concludes my turn.
No worries. Alright, so ending A9's turn. Up next we have Nadria. What would you like to do?
I would like to cast Eldritch Blast.
On which one?
The one that was previously holding Dilbert.
This one here?
Yes.
Sure.
7 plus 5 does a 12 hit.
Does not, sorry.
Oh no, this is not going to be something
As you kind of try and focus on this black and red flame, kind of focusing this sphere in your hand, feeling that same kind of prickle against your skin of the heat, you attempt to duck around Abelard and fire it in between the gap in between your allies, and it just glances off the tip of Krugar's sword and kind of ricochets into the back, breaking a crate and kind of setting it alight. Is there anything else you'd like to do in your turn?
Margaret's just gonna like roll their eyes and like, oh my god.
You hear from in your
Here it comes.
well, that didn't go as planned. And that will end your turn. So up next we have Kruger, top of the round.
Do I say that Nadra is talking to themselves again?
I'd assume so. If you're speaking aloud, then yeah, you'd hear angry muttering just out of the peripherals, and you see them kind of muttering to themselves.
Not gonna question it this time. Go for another chop on the one that I'm fighting. 21 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Nice. Yeah, that's 9. 14 points of damage.
Yay, nice.
I'm a fighter, I fight things.
Alright, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Bonus actions? I got nothing. I'll just like square up and be like, come on, you know you want this. You want to taste some of this steel? Come on!
Alright, so in a similar motion to last time, you bring your sword up next to you and kind of go for a swipe to bring out whatever legs it might have and take them out from underneath it. But you watch as you kind of carve into a large section of its lower body, and it begins to kind of smack on the ground before it kind of creeps back together slowly. But it seems to now have pivoted its focus from Dilbert to you.
Thank you.
I got your back!
Is there anything else you'd like to do? Or
I'll say a very naughty word at it in halfling and see if it responds to that.
no recognition, it just seems to kind of loom over you, kind of getting bigger and bringing its arms around to kind of try and...
Yep, I think this thing just really wants to kill us, guys! That's me.
Maybe you guys just aren't speaking the right language, who knows?
Does anyone speak blob?
I think ooze is a language, but I don't think I have it.
Try Elvish. Speak the language of love.
I mean, they speak technically 2 languages, so just keep trying, maybe you get there.
I don't think it'll be fun enough after
So-
carving into it.
I mean,
This one is going to pivot towards you.
Does it seem like my attacks were doing, like, full damage or reduced in any way, or not really?
It does seem like full damage, you
Okay.
didn't notice any discernible difference.
Damn, these are tough blobs.
Actually, I should have said with your fire, you do notice that it did slightly more than usual.
Good to know.
Yes, sorry, I should have mentioned that before and I forgot. Alright, so this ooze here, having been the victim of Krugar's cleaves into it and is kind of carving and separating the ooze entirely, it's going to attempt to hit you with 2 attacks.
2?
Yes.
Damn it.
Oh.
That is a 14 to hit on the first one.
That misses.
Misses. Ooh, and a natural 20 on the second.
I cry.
For a 27.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
the first one, it attempts to kind of pick you up and throw you to the side, and you just dodge out of the way in time, a bit too nimble for its large grasping hands. But the second time, it comes from the opposite direction and tries to sandwich you in between its hand, begins to kind of pull you up and slam you down onto the harsh stone below, and that will be...
That's gonna hurt a
that will be a 13 damage.
Half elf, no worries.
You feel your head smack back against the stone below, kind of ringing your ears, and you hear this kind of monster beginning to almost attempt to grab you within and kind of pull you in. Though it's not grappling you at the moment, it's just attempting.
My shoulder dislocates.
You know all about that.
Lucky I brought this spare sling with me.
Wow, it fucking was.
Alright, and the second ooze here
always, guys.
is going to turn and attempt to engage with you, June. And it is going to attempt to slam you twice.
Disadvantage.
Yes.
Good
one.
Bear with me here, just roll both.
What? I'm dodging.
17 to hit on the first one.
Fuck.
You're so confident.
This dice is rolling too well. I'm gonna put it away for now.
No, don't be kind. You're the DM. Be merciless. Oh, what kind of damage was that actually, by the way? Before, was it just bludgeoning damage?
Yes.
Alright, cool.
8 plus 14 on the second one.
No.
Does not hit. Alright, so the first one, it picks you up, kind of its large, almost mitt-like claws kind of begin to interlock behind you and pick you up. You feel a kind of tugging on you as if it's trying to separate you, and begins to slam you back down onto the stone much like it did with Crew. And damage for that one.
Crew guys.
So that is only 10 for damage. And as it picks you up and slams you back down, you feel almost a crunch in your wrist as you kind of try and break your landing a little bit.
Hey, feel that two-door now.
I've named it already. So two doors the slime in the bag. This is two dad.
Right, so that will end the ooze's turn. And up
two
next,
dad. It's two dad.
I refuse.
Two dad breaks your
And
wrist.
up next we have Malin.
Just like
Roll
real
your
life.
Wait till he gets the belt.
Since
Wait till he
poison,
gets.
I'm mad at poison spray because at the moment it's not fucking working and it's really annoying. So
Are we having a change up, a mix up, a
I've
spell
mixed
type?
up before. Not of a spell though. I'm gonna go just all in and attack with the dagger.
Oh,
Okay, so you're
I
going to
thought it
move
was
into
the
its
primal
space now?
savagery.
Yes, please.
Alright, so let's put you there and shift June across. Alright, so roll your attack.
Is it? Yep.
The pen is boring.
3 plus 6. 9.
9 does not hit, unfortunately.
Here, hold this for me.
Nothing is going
Uh-oh.
Alright, so you pull your dagger out and begin to slice across the arm that is trying to consume June. And you feel your dagger get stuck and kind of wobble a little bit inside the ooze as it tries to grip your dagger and pull it in further towards itself. But does not seem to do any discernible damage, unfortunately.
Also, little cool doors missing a
bullet.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
I will
That's
print
ca-
another and paint it. I
Nah,
did
that's
not
canon.
realize.
No, no,
I'm
That's
sorry.
canon now, guys.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. It must have got knocked off
He's
somewhere.
forgot something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
I just wanted to let you know. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'll
You lost
reprint
it in the
it.
end.
Maybe I need several different quill doors and paint that.
Print out a sitting
In,
recruit if
in
you want.
world, in world, they just like
They rotate
like they
around.
keep
Quill door will
replacing.
never die. I
He's
feel
barely ever used anyways. Don't
I
waste
feel too
Use every
bad
morsel.
about killing Quildor.
Plot armor?
Plot armor. You would not believe this is like a fucking chained up box. Nobody is getting into Quildor. It's never gonna happen. I feel too bad about
You
it.
won't feel the same about Two-Door.
No, Tudor is dying immediately. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that will end your turn, Merlin. Or would you like to move back out of range, or would you like to?
I'll stay in range.
No worries. Alright, so up next we have Dilworth.
I have a question about how combat works. Do I get an action and a bonus action every round?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Unless you're casting spells, and then sometimes, yes, sometimes.
No, I'm just gonna do an attack with my claw staff.
Mhm.
No, actually, you said fire damage was stronger.
Seems like it, yeah.
I'll do firebolt then.
Okay.
For my action, that's 10.
10 does not hit, unfortunately.
And then all bonus action, flurry of blows.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Cool.
Is that?
Yeah.
I think you have to hit with a melee weapon.
So the only problem with I don't think you can do it as a bonus action if you haven't already used a
Flurry of
melee
blows
field.
is a bonus action. It's just I think you need to
But
actually hit with a weapon.
But you can't use it if you haven't used it for your action, can you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to hit with your
Or is it
staff.
unarmed strike and then flurry of blows?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
No, or
Yeah, so you can bonus action always punch, or provided
Then
you.
I'll just do an unarmed strike.
But flurry of
bonus.
blows lets you do another punch as a bonus action. But you have to use your action to hit with either your fists or a weapon. I'm not sure about spells.
So can I just do an armed strike instead?
usually I'd say no, but because this is your first time in combat, yes, I will use it.
Is that because I'm holding my quarter staff? Probably.
Sure.
I'm just gonna take it then. I'm just gonna.
I've been a benevolent DM. Just make your roll. Go for it.
The DM says yes, you do.
That'll be 17.
17, definitely hits.
There's nothing to blood damage. I take back 8 damage.
Nice.
Damn.
And this is at this one here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, punch that boost.
All right. So what does it look like as you firebolt at it?
Well, I just kind of. I get the firebolt in my hand and like kind of try and put it towards my mouth so it looks like it's coming out of my mouth. And then I kind of just like awkwardly try and like throw it.
Nice. So focusing on creating this fire in your hand, you can feel the crackle kind of pulling up your skin scales. What's weird? And kind of tickling at your scales.
It's kind of
I
weird
hate
mix.
it. No, I hate it. When I'm doing
Tickly
that again. And you put it up next to your face and trying to show off for everybody else. You attempt to fire it from here discreetly. Everybody notices that it's actually just coming from your hand, and kind of glances off the top of the ooze as it moves its head towards you and kind of seems
I
to
want
focus.
everyone to also know that I missed because I tried to make it look like it's coming out of my mouth.
Why are you trying to make it look fancy? Just fight!
But watching it glance off as the ooze kind of swings its massive head towards you, you go in straight with an uppercut and hit it under a spongy part in its jaw, and feel your knuckles sink into this ooze a fraction as it kind of knocks its head back and it rears back, trying to focus again in between you and Kruger. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn? Would you like to move at all?
Can I still move? But
You can.
will I
Was it this round that I used opportunity attack on this one?
Yeah.
I think it
So
was.
on-
So yeah, you can move with.
yeah, I'll just I suppose I'll move back to where Abelard is standing.
Sure.
Or will that obstruct A9's view
Um.
on either of them?
No, because you're tiny.
You're that.
No,
Okay,
it should.
Then I'll stay there.
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yep. So that ends your turn.
Yep.
Up next we have Abelard. What would you like to do?
Sacred flame.
Which one?
The one in front of me. I
This
guess.
one here?
Yeah.
Dex save. I rolled a 3, so that's 5.
Whoop, that's a fail. 8 radiant damage.
Hell yeah.
Nice. What does it look like as you fire Sacred Flame?
It's kind of like the holy symbol kind of comes out again, and I kind of sling it like I do with one of my other attacks. I kind of throw it, it kind of lights up like a radiant flame as it hits. It kind of bounces back to me and kind of engulfs the slime in like a white flame.
Hell yeah. So as soon as this white flame begins to kind of eat away at this creature, you watch as it recoils and bits of it kind of bubble and almost steam as this radiant energy sears it and begins to bite further into the ooze. And you said it was how much damage, sorry?
8.
8. Alright. Is that end your turn? Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm gonna retreat like maybe even another 5 foot behind Gilbert.
Behind Gilbert?
Yeah.
Alright.
Why you come behind me?
Don't worry about
I'm about
it.
to die.
When you fall over, I will pick you up again.
Thank you.
Kind of 6'4" lumbering, kind of just tries to hide, ducking down behind.
I kind of
2'6".
like turn around and like look up, like noticeably at a steep angle.
It's like a 6 foot me, just like I'm not using this cover. I'm just walking behind him and just kind of leaving Gilbert as like
craning
a
your neck.
snap.
Are you like crouched behind?
No, I'm just going entree.
Abelard hates short people.
So Abelard, will that end your turn?
Yep.
Alright, we'll move on to June. What's up?
Can I try and corral this creature backwards with continuing hand gestures?
Yeah, roll an animal handling check for me.
Excellent. And this time in Dwarvish, I'm gonna start saying, "Go back, back." Any acknowledgement yet?
Doesn't seem like it. It seems to move back a step initially, but only because you're advancing before it sees that you're just trying to corral it backwards, and it begins to kind of move forward again, almost getting right on top of you into your space.
It's a 9 for animal handling.
Yeah.
I want to take the dodge action again as my
Okay, sure.
combat.
Can you dodge as a bonus action? Okay, I'm going to say animal handling is your action, so you won't be able to take the dodge.
Cool. Then I just sit there and take it like a bitch.
Take it like a bitch. Okay. So as you look up into the eyes of this beast, attempting to kind of bat it backwards and corral it to move further away from you and your allies. Like I said before, it does take a step back, but immediately roots back to the spot, looks at you, and doesn't seem to register what you're trying to do, and just thinks you're really bad at hitting it. So it's going to try and move forward into your space again. Does that end your turn?
Yeah, that's all.
Alright, we have up next A9. What would you like to do?
I think first I'm looking confused at the situation unfolding before me.
You don't have to kill it.
I either don't hear or choose to ignore that. I'm gonna, given the success of my last firebolt, gonna try to replicate as closely as I can what I did last turn.
Sure.
with a miss by the looks of things, an 11 to hit.
Does not hit, unfortunately.
Wow.
They're attempting to hit this one here.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
So, as you attempt to focus again on creating this fireball, bolt in front of you, you attempt to fire it, but trying to go around your allies and miss them and try and not to scorch them actually resulted in you missing a pretty big target of the monster and instead just glancing off the top of June's head as you fire towards this monster. No damage is done to you though.
Just headshot,
Just
instant
for,
death.
just for flavour.
You may have killed me.
You're really not making this any easier, June.
Violence doesn't have to be the only way.
In
Yeah,
this
but
case,
it's
Yeah, well,
in
help to them.
this case, it does seem like the easiest course of action.
You all yell across the battlefield at each other. Ada,
All
does
at
that-
June. Just
Yeah,
fucking
does
kill
that
it.
end your turn? Ada?
Yes, it does.
No worries. So up next, lucky last we have Nadrio. What's up?
Where would that flaming crate be that I broke earlier?
I'd say it's probably this one here.
That's so far away. I'm not doing anything with that anymore. I've changed my mind. I'm not getting close to the creatures. Alright, so I'm just gonna cast Eldritch Blast again. I'm gonna try again.
Yeah.
Wow, 11 doesn't hit.
Come on, guys.
I really want to give you a hit so bad. Which one are you aiming at? This one or this one?
That one again.
Sure.
My short temper is just getting the best of me, I think.
Right, so kind of shaking your hand out from the last attempt at firing this Eldritch Blast, you attempt to focus again on creating the Eldritch Blast in your hand. This fire beginning to swirl before eventually it just kind of stutters out and just flickers slightly before you fire a underwhelming ball of Eldritch energy directly at this ooze that kind of hits it and almost fizzles out. And yeah, get it together.
I'm really trying. I can't. I'm just in here. Not shutting up.
Hey, don't put this on me. And that will end your turn, I'm assuming. Unless you'd like to move. Top of the round again, we have Kruger. What's up?
Can I get into flanking? Is May in combat with this one? The one I've been fighting?
Yes.
Can I get into a flanking position
Yeah.
with May?
With this one here?
Or with May? Like, can I flank that one?
So,
Or can I only flank that
Melon,
one?
sorry, I should have pointed this way. Melon was aiming at this
Oh,
one.
okay. Yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
Well, I provoke an opportunity attack if I leave this
Yes.
ghost. Is she within 5 feet of this one? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah? Can I flank with that one?
So you want to move around this way?
Yeah, I want to try and flank it so I can get it.
She doesn't have to be in combat with it?
I don't know.
I don't know if
Up
I
to
can
you.
either. I'd say probably not because she's not focusing on it, but I'll just double check the rules of flanking because I don't know. I don't know.
It would make sense that I think it has to be flanking the same creature.
Well, it says when a creature and at least one ally are within 5 feet of the same enemy on opposite sides, that enemy is flanked. So, yeah,
Yeah?
makes sense to me. I would have. Yeah.
Up to you. With the DM.
No, you know what? I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm in a nice mood today, so
Hell yeah.
I'll let you say that flank. But for next time,
No worries. Alright, then I'll attack it with advantage then.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. Papa wants a crit. No, not a crit. 19 to hit.
yeah, that did.
You got crit fail there for a sec.
That's rare that I've only crit failed once, and so I rolled 2 ones in a row.
Yeah.
Let's do big 6, reroll 2. That's still the same. So 8 plus 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Surely.
So 13 total.
Yeah, so.
Alright, so just ducking behind it, seeing that its focus was originally on you, you just circumvent it and kind of duck underneath its arm and swing directly at its back, feeling your sword dig into the ooze and kind of chip away at what feels like a solid spine, a vertebrae within the monster.
Ew.
And you feel it get stuck for a second before you wrench it out and watch as more of that black, kind of almost, well, dark purple, almost black ooze begins to spill out of this massive gash that you've carved into the monster. Does that end your turn?
As a bonus action, I'm going to use Second Wind to get a bit of healing
Sure.
back in me, because that was a big bloody crit before. 1d10 plus 2. That one. Not good. That's 5 points of healing I get back. And I'll just yell out, "Somebody want to flank this thing with me?"
I said it's on fire.
And that's the turn.
Alright. Up next we have the oozes.
Ooze.
So, feeling you kind of bite into it, it's going to pivot towards you. Pivot! Oh, gotta love friends. And is going to attempt to attack you twice.
Balls.
Ooh, I rolled 23.
What do you think?
I'm assuming it hits. And then for the second attack,
Please miss.
I only rolled a 9.
Yay, that misses.
So for the first one, immediately after you begin to carve into its back, the blood within it almost spilling out. It turns to face you, and immediately a large hand claps down on your shoulder and wrenches you up. One arm just kind of slams you back down into the ground.
Oh, Jesus.
And you feel your face kind of scrape against the stone, carving through the layers of ooze that are built up on the floor. And that will be... Ooh, bad rolls. Only 7 for damage.
Cool. Oh, thank God. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I've looked that up.
Alright, and for this next one... Ooh, interesting. I'm gonna say the aggressor in this situation was most likely Mei Lin with the dagger rather than June trying to corral the beast. Corral. Alright, so it's going to attempt to pick you up and slam you like you've seen it done to all of your allies, and we will see what happens. 11. So for the first one, I rolled a 17. Does it hit?
Oh.
Okay, and for this next one, I rolled... Maths. 15.
That
Just hits? Okay, so you watch as with its large hands it grips around you. You feel it kind of constricting and almost crushing you in, the breath leaving you as it picks you up and almost like a rag doll begins to throw you down on the ground. One time, second time, and you feel your back impact strongly. You can hear a crack in the back of your shoulder. And this one, since both hit,
Got paralyzed, literally.
so the first one was a 12 for damage.
12?
Oh.
The second one is a 10. Obliterated.
Yeah.
How many hit points do you have?
I only had 17.
Okay.
She's down. Oh my God, you nearly killed her.
We're going for that.
Like, you nearly killed her outright.
Yeah,
She
I
was.
only have 17.
Hey, I suggested you should take a rest. This is on you guys.
I also pushed for a long rest.
Yeah,
I
I
went
only
next
have
post
a
lots.
max of 17. I don't know why. How do you get more?
Who has
Yeah.
heal?
You-
Huh?
Who can heal?
What the fuck does that mean?
Constitution.
You have a healing. You have healing. You have.
Alright,
Does
so
mending only
after
heal
being
you?
slammed down
Whatever.
twice into the stonework,
Huh?
you, upon feeling your
You
shoulder
can
crack the
heal
first
other people?
time,
What?
the second time
Oh,
you
it's
impact strongly and you feel your consciousness leave you. You topple back,
okay.
everything going black and your vision kind of fading away slowly, like a vignette. Alright, so that will end the ooze's turn.
That's.
Yeah, so you have to roll a
Death save.
death save.
So you roll a d20 and you want a 10 or higher. That's cocked.
That's nothing.
That's 12. That's a
Oh,
success.
nice.
So just
You did.
so take one of the success circles.
What success circles? What are you
See
doing?
those little circles up there?
Sure.
Click those.
Alright.
Those little
The
success
circle
circles.
next to success. This one here.
Click that.
You can
I'll then click success.
You're up next, yeah.
You need 3 successes to stabilize. And if you get 3 failures, you die.
I can't do my bonus
No, you
actions as actions. No, so is that
You can,
uh,
so you just have to smack it first, and then you can
use
do
an
flurry
action.
blows. Yeah, so
Well,
for flurry
yeah.
blows, you have to hit
hit it
with a melee attack.
Well, it says
I would have let you.
attack action.
Yeah, I would have
in
if
the,
you.
in the wording it says after you take the attack action, not a.
So I would have, if you had hit
Yeah.
successfully the first time with
okay.
the firebolt, I would have
Yeah.
let you use flurry blows. But since you didn't hit, I think you have to hit success. Yeah.
No, you just need to take the attack action.
It doesn't
That's the
say
attack
melee.
action. No, that's casting a spell and the attack action are 2 different things.
It's a cantrip. Does
That's
that make a
that's
difference?
still casting.
It's
spell.
a spell, but I would,
Yeah.
for
Okay.
me personally, the way I would have,
Um.
I would have let you if you had hit it. But ordinarily, I would say, yeah, you'd have to hit with
Yeah.
melee.
I'm just wondering, would it be beneficial? I mean, obviously, it'd be beneficial if I did Draconic Cry. How big is 10 feet
So
from where I
it was 20 feet from here to there. So
Was that-
from you,
yeah.
you'd be able to get everyone here.
But it's more so you and your allies have advantage on attack rolls against the enemies that could hear me. So I mean, then it'd be within 10 feet of
Within
both
10
of the
feet of the
enemies.
yeah, I'd say you're within 10 feet of both of them.
Okay, then I'm gonna do Firebolt
Mhm.
on the one that grabbed me.
Sure.
Fucking, they won't hit. That's a 9. And then I'm gonna do Draconic Cry.
Okay.
And
Sure.
then now everyone has advantage on attack rolls.
Ooh.
Cool.
So that's not.
What do you yell
Nah.
for Draconic
yeah,
Cry?
attack
Do you yell
rolls.
anything or just
I scream at both of them in Draconic.
Sure.
I just yell like
you waiting to
fuck
see?
off. What? Yeah, no, I just scream to them in Draconic. Fuck off, you stupid slimy fucks! There you go.
You watch as they both kind of turn towards the scream, but more just because it's sound and they kind of focus back on.
I was gonna try and speak.
I really want to
Polish
give you a hint. So when your turn comes up, I'll give you an extra roll.
I
and you
think
can
I
see.
know what languages it speaks, and I don't think I have them. I've got one shot of a language that it might work, but it's
I think I have the language they speak.
Huh?
Okay.
I've got primordial. I have it as
I don't know,
well.
guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So now everyone has advantage on their attack rolls. So
Sick.
yeah.
Okay, so
And,
as you do you attempt to, with your fire bolt, do you attempt to just?
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing I did before. Once again.
All right.
What's the deal with that? Nothing. It's nothing.
Inside check.
Roll an insight check.
Oh hell yeah.
I'm rolling it into
Deception.
21.
But it's not. Fuck, no way. Yeah, no, you figure it out straight away. It was all.
Alright, so what do you figure out?
Yeah, we'll figure out that something's up. That's
We'll talk about it after. If we live,
It's nothing bad, I swear.
it's kind of weird.
I start crying.
Alright, so
I'm not trying to bully you! I've been there!
and your turn to do it. We have Adelaide up next. What would you like to do?
Channel Divinity, 10 hit points to Malin.
Sure.
Actually, no, I can't do a full 10 because it can only be half of their max hit points. It's so frustrating. So what's half of 17?
It's just a 10.
Like,
Cool.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care that much.
Graceful DM.
Yeah, I don't care that
you
much.
Don't expect this kindness from me.
No. Alright, so what does it look like as you channel divinity?
So
Yay.
seeing Malin
Not
hit
yet.
the
Oh,
ground, I kind of like,
I don't know you just said
I
it.
kind of do like, I kind of, the holy symbol starts to float like flat, and I like spin into like a radiant kind of ball, and then like a beam almost.
Alright, so kind of floating through this liminal space, Malin, you feel a kind of radiant energy encompassing you, almost as if it's a warm hug from a close friend, or a beloved family member. And you feel yourself come back into consciousness, the air kind of filling your lungs, and you are no longer unconscious. So 10 hit points back.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Right,
Need a
but-
help. And then bonus action, can I yell in Primordial, surrender immediately?
Yeah. You watch as they whip their heads around to you and kind of just stay there. Just all focused on you.
Nice one.
Was there any
It
recognition?
seems like they understood what you meant. But they speak 2 languages, so there's it's possible you hear the next
Still
one.
a chance.
There's still a chance, guys.
Has anyone spoken Elvish to it yet?
I was young. I can speak languages too. I just don't know very well, so.
No.
Alright, so does that end your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
No
I got
worries.
their attention on me.
Yeah. You watch as they kind of just begin to. It seems like they registered what you said. Doesn't seem like they've surrendered just yet, but you get the sense it's been a long time since somebody has spoken to them. And this primordial language is deep and more rooted in feelings than actual language, but it seems that you got some of your point across to them. Up next we have June. What would you like to do?
My
You have advantage, please.
my last shot of language is infernal. Please just stop.
I'm gonna point this out. I think I understand that one.
Holy shit, okay.
You know Infernal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also am
Hand
looking
like
at
up
you.
and up. So we're going for universal symbols as well.
You watch as this one closest to you, as you're kind of waving your arms, telling him to stop, just desperately crying at it. It seems to look at you and grunt, and seems like it understood.
Oh.
Okay. We don't have to kill each other?
You're still saying this to them? You're trying to have a full-on conversation?
Fully.
Alright, so this will be action.
Yeah.
You watch as it just kind of stands there for a moment, growling, but doesn't seem to. It seems like it's almost right on top of you, so it's not advancing further. But it seems agitated still. It doesn't seem like it's just going to drop everything straight away.
I turn my back to it and gesture everyone else away. Like, no, this one's. Let's talk with this one.
So that'll be 2 separate actions. So you're
What
having a
movement?
conversation with it, and then you're trying to have a conversation with everybody else. So
No, I stop the conversation. I turn my back.
that's 2 separate conversations.
Okay.
So
Can I bonus action, turn, movement? Okay, in that case, I'll just use my movement to turn away and just move and turn away.
okay.
Universal gestures.
How far do you want to move away?
No, like just turn
You
around.
just want to turn around, okay.
I'm just no longer waving the torch at it, but
Yeah,
away from it.
full
Okay.
dex due while it's not looking.
Yeah, like I said, 2 separate conversations. So the conversation with the ooze is going to be separate to the conversation that you have with everybody else to tell them to stop. So you've just turned towards them.
I've
So
just
you're
turned towards them. Can I still wave my torch in the same way?
Yeah. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna count it as a persuasion to get everybody. To
No,
stop.
there's no persuasion. It's just hand up torch.
You're just straight up doing it.
just airplane signaling, hoping on a win.
Okay, sure.
End of my turn.
Alright, up next we have A9. What would you like to do?
Immediately shoots one of them.
I was just deciding whether or not I was convinced. I'm sorry. It's not in your favour. So, bonus of attack rolls. Does Fireball count as an attack roll?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
So an attack action is, I think, in the case of monks, it usually means like melee attack, but casting a spell counts as an attack. You know?
Sure.
So
I'll bring myself as far into the group as I can.
do you want to be in the middle?
It's how close can I get to the goobs?
You can get so they're within 20 feet.
I'll try to.
You don't want to get in melee with it because then ranged attacks at disadvantage.
Oh, orange.
Yeah, because fireballs are ranged.
Okay, well then I'll stay back 10 feet. That's outside melee range.
That's fine, as long as you're not within 5
Stand
feet.
next to me, I think I'm 10 feet away, aren't
Can you flank with a ranged attack?
No.
No, it's melee.
Okay.
Flanking.
Regardless, the slime that's looming over Kruger, I will try to hit with a fireball.
Okay.
It's close to coming.
6 advantage, right?
Disadvantage.
Yes. 20 to hit.
Nice.
Your advantage?
That's my advantage.
You got
15
What's
is
the
fine.
draconic cry?
I forgot about that one, yeah. Actually, I have enough status markers. Maybe I should just put on everyone advantage against enemies. So it's against the actual oozes, yeah?
It only lasts for 1 turn. It'll be over at my next turn, so don't bother.
Done that. Alright, cool. So it was
20 to hit.
20 hits.
Cool. And then that gives us 4 fire damage.
Nice.
4 fire damage. Alright, so
How is this thing not dead yet?
You hit it for like 14.
I know.
Right.
I've done like maybe 30 to 40 damage to this thing.
Do we get any indication of like fatigue?
yeah, I'd tell you if they were looking pretty beat up. You can roll an insight check on your turn though, or a medicine check.
Is that an action?
No, I won't make it count as an action. You're just quickly glancing at it. So as you focus on this sphere before you again, kind of trying to make it bigger and bigger and burn hotter and brighter, you fire it directly at this ooze, hitting it in the back, and it lets out a screech that reverberates around this cavernous interior. And the fire begins to eat away at this ooze, kind of burning a hole in its back where Kruger slashed deep to reveal what appears to be a kind of vertebrae, but
It's got spines! Person!
It could be a person engulfed in the goo.
Is it actually Zolgan? Or Zolga? Or whatever.
to know that'd be you'd have to check. Does that end your turn, A9, or would you like to do anything else?
Yeah, that will conclude my turn.
No worries. So lucky last again. We have Nadria.
You have advantage, it's fine.
One
You
more
do.
time. One more time.
But it doesn't count for spells. It counts.
Does it? Are you gonna count?
I'm gonna count it for spells because I did the check.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Yeah.
Draconic Cry what it says though.
Advantage on attack rolls against enemies.
I think that counts for spells.
Yeah, I'd say that's a spell.
DM's discretion.
Alright. 12.
DM says it's okay.
Yeah, 17 hit regardless.
17 does hit.
Well, now it's just gonna be a 19 instead.
Okay, so yep, both of them definitely hit.
Yeah.
We did it!
We did it! Hooray!
7, that's 10 damage. So,
Which one are you aiming at?
aiming at the same one I've been aiming at every single time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I seem to just have like.
Kill it. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like looking
The
at my
force damage
hands,
just
trying to,
explodes.
like, as if I'm like flicking a lighter. I'm just trying to like flick the Eldritch Blast in my hands, like actually work this time, and then I go and aim for.
Alright, so as this, as you feel the frustration welling up inside you, you begin to focus more on creating this eldritch energy ball in your hand. The black and red flames begin to crawl up your wrist, further up your forearm, and letting out just a bit of a rage scream. You fire directly at this ooze, palm straight out, and you watch as it sinks straight into the hole that was created by Kruger and then A9, and it begins to consume and burn around this vertebrae, consuming it and kind of bubbling the ooze inside. Doesn't look like it's downed just yet, but looking pretty hurt.
God. Damn.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Cry slightly.
I don't really think so. I think I'm just gonna like. Was that enough? Like, are you good yet? Are you happy with what's happened now? Like, is that enough?
There's a bit of a pause, and then in your mind you hear, well, I would have been happier if you hit the first 2 times.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, that's not on me.
Can I like kind of just like look back a little bit, like slightly?
Yeah, you see them kind of angrily muttering to themselves.
Does Abelard notice?
Yes.
Okay.
We're right next to them.
Yeah, no, I'm just like,
Just like we both of us like kind of random style, like turn our heads to look back.
Like listening to somebody on the phone, a one-sided conversation, you see them kind of just getting frustrated, angrily muttering to themselves. Seems like a very complex discussion.
I whispered to Avalon, I'm like, is she always like this?
Yes!
Yeah.
Alright, so up next we have Kruger.
Advantage from the Draconic Cry.
Mhm.
Nice. Alright, sick.
On all attack rolls.
Well, I only make one. Should have kept that. And, ooh, that rolled better. Dirty 20 to hit.
Definitely is.
I don't have that high of a modifier. I'm just rolling really well. I always roll well when I'm fighting.
Fighter.
Reroll the 1. Yeah, it's way better. 4, 8, 13 points of slashing damage. Please, for the love of God.
Alright. Okay. What are you aiming for in particular?
What's like? Is there like any noticeable appendages? Oh no, there's a vertebrae still in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the other side of you.
I'm gonna try and literally carve my way to that spine, and then I'm gonna like aim for where the vertebrae like join to each other, and I'm gonna go.
Alright.
That's what I'm
So-
aiming for.
Seeing the effects of the burn that's kind of burrowed its way into the back of this ooze monster, kind of desperately trying to knit itself together in some places, kind of attempting to pull. You carve directly in on either side of this spine, revealing it, and this kind of this massive glob of this ooze kind of falls to the ground, exposing the vertebrae completely. And you begin to kind of smack it on either side, trying desperately to get it to break and to sever, and you can see bits of it are kind of tearing, almost like a fraying rope, but doesn't seem like you kill it just yet. you can see it's just kind of wailing in pain, almost bubbling with what it's saying.
Is it saying it in primordial?
It's just a pain scream.
Okay.
You all recognise that language. Alright, up next we have the oozers.
Do they surrender?
So it is going to attempt to overwhelm you, Kruger, and begin to consume you again.
Are you really gonna kill a kid? Are you gonna
How old is your cat?
I won't kill raccoons, but I'll kill a child.
Not that you know, but Krugar is only 17.
Okay.
Alright.
Do I make
So
a
I'm going to need you to
saving
make a strength saving throw for me, please. The DC is 15.
16!
So, as a result of the immense damage that's kind of been carved in slowly to this ooze with its fraying spinal cord exposed to you, it begins to attempt to consume you again and draw you in, but the bubbling in its throat is kind of taking over and it doesn't seem to be able to latch on to you very well. And you just shrug it off. And so the next one, you yelled surrender, yeah?
Yeah.
And you said what in Infernal?
I said, please just stop.
Okay, so it's going to make to move around you.
Okay.
June. Don't be mean. It's gonna.
Oh,
it's not
the
gonna.
opportunity attack that I'll
Is,
take.
Is Malin up?
Anyone? Or is it just you?
Malin's up.
Malin's up.
Units in line.
Malin's up.
No, Malin is still prone,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 'cause she
so
falls.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why.
no.
But not rolling death save or anything.
Yeah.
So the ooze begins to kind of slide closer to you, Abelard, and gets within 5 feet.
Does it do anything?
Not at the moment.
Alright.
Not at the moment. Just seems to be in front of you, 5 feet. Alright, so that'll end its turn. Up next we
That's all it
have
does.
Malin. What would you like to do? Stand up, I'm assuming.
Yes, please. That'd be nice.
Yep.
I don't really want to go near it anymore. I've been had a lot.
So
You
you're
still
within
have
5
advantage.
feet of this one.
And you still have advantage.
Yeah, you have advantage.
No, on top.
Yeah, that's good.
This is a really hard decision.
Do it!
If you try to run away, it might get it'll get a hit on you.
Okay, I guess I'll just go in and attack this one with my dagger.
Okay. So you pivot to face it, pulling out your dagger, having just staggered to your feet and blindly swipe at it. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Roll it twice and take the higher number.
Ooh, yeah. Oh.
7 plus.
Nat 1. Nat 2.
I was on that one. Oh, it looks like a 7 from over
It
here.
is a 7.
Oh, it is? Sorry.
Seven,
My
yeah.
direction it looked like a 1.
7 plus.
So 7 plus what?
6.
We're not going to kill him. I don't
7
have to
plus.
worry.
What was it, sorry?
6.
Which is 13? Is it?
And yeah, it's 13. Maths.
It's hard doing other people's math. I don't like doing my own. So that does not hit.
Good try.
But you attempt to carve into it, and seeing this massive gaping hole in it, you attempt to thrust your dagger in. Still not clear, your head kind of, your ears ringing, your head kind of feeling heavy from where it smacked against the concrete, and you just kind of slide your dagger through the hole, and that's it. Nothing happens, you just don't make any impact. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your...
Can I
Turn?
move back a little bit?
You can, it will get an opportunity attack on you though.
Okay, I went then.
Do you have another dagger? Is he gonna attack it? If you have 2 small weapons, you can attack it with your bonus action. Only if you have 2 daggers though.
So that's it. No worries. So up next we have Dilbert. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna move closer to the one attacking Kruger.
Okay. So this one will get an opportunity attack on you.
Oh,
You assume.
Mm.
Am I? It's within combat range of me. Yeah?
Yes, it's within 5 feet of Abelard, so within 5 feet of you also.
If I can't do that, I'll die.
Well,
I'm really sorry,
it may or may
Kruger.
not hit you.
It may or may
It
not.
did just spend a whole
Yeah, I
turn
know.
moving, not hitting.
Friendship.
Do whatever Dilbert would do. What would Dilbert do?
Well, Dilbert is currently crying, so
Do you have advantage on your firebolt as well?
no, the advantage doesn't last.
Oh, okay. The
too
advantage
much. It says
until the start of your end of your next turn.
Until the start of your next turn. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
I
yeah.
get advantage. I'm going to.
It's a wicked ability.
You're still attacking this one, Tim?
Yeah, I can if you want.
It really helped you if you would help in the fight. No, I'll attack the one that's next to me then.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Because I'm sad and a little bit upset at Kruger.
Sure. So make your attack.
for ridiculing me about my.
What would you like to do?
Display.
So are you
I'm
attacking
going
with your
to-
quarterstaff or?
I'm going to hit it with my quarterstaff or attack it with my quarterstaff.
Jude
Because
is
I've been bullied into not using my firebolt. That's 26.
Damn.
26 definitely hits.
That's 10 damage.
Okay.
I didn't try to bully.
And then I'm going to use 1 key point to do flurry of blows. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Is that- yeah.
So that's 2 bonus
Absolutely.
attacks.
That'll be 14
Does not hit.
and a 26, 21.
Hits.
That'll be a 7.
7?
Hell yeah.
Alright.
And that's,
Maths. No.
and that's the end of my turn.
Sure.
Actually, can I move as well? Oh no, because it's
Yes,
going to
but
get an
it'll
opportunity.
attack you.
Okay, then no, that's it.
Alright, so you're just bringing.
With tears in my eyes, I kind of like look over at where Kruger is like stuck against the wall, and I just go like, I look up at Abelard standing next to me, and I just kind of go for the one standing next to me.
No worries. So, blinking back the tears in your eyes, kind of one slides down your cheek, and you kind of push it away very briefly before you grab your quarterstaff and smack it directly into where you assume the ribcage of this ooze monster is, and you get a sharp impact that reverberates up your arm. But you watch as it kind of bows under the pressure and slinks away before you hit one blow of it?
Yeah.
You smack another uppercut straight into the jaw of this beast and watch as it kind of recoils in pain. And you guys hear in Infernal.
Infernal.
What was I going to say? In Infernal, you hear,
"The truth will not last."
and then you see it begins to kind of loom over you, Abelard.
Wow. Great. Alright.
You understand Infernal, yeah?
Yeah.
Look, I wasn't really paying attention. I was kind of in my own little world there.
It's good. He's funny.
No worries. So, will that end your turn, do it?
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
No worries. Up next we have Abelard.
Cool. I'm just gonna be like, questions. Questions. Alright. I will respond in Inferno. I'll stop the dimwit if you don't hit us. Do I get a response with his reaction?
You watch as it considers for a second, and then in Primordial to you, it says,
Not you, them.
and you watch as it focuses on Dilt.
I mean, Can I bonus action respond just like all or nothing?
So you're gonna say that to it?
Yeah.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Oh god almighty.
No, that's not my strong point.
Are we trying to persuade the ooze?
Because we're dying!
I actually, as a DM, really like when you guys make choices that are non-violent because I think it's interesting. Have
11.
you thought about 11?
Violence doesn't always solve
In
the
Primordial, again, it says to you,
Not likely.
and is still focusing on it.
Cool.
I'm gonna die.
They are not friendly!
But yeah, as a DM, I really like it when you guys make concerted efforts to think about tactics in a fight. So I will give you inspiration for that because I think that's cool.
Ooh, lucky boy.
Alright, advantage to
and
sacred
it's
flame it.
D8, not D6, because D6 is a lame. So you can add a D8 to
Oh,
rolls as inspiration.
Inspiration. It's fine.
Alright. So,
Inspiration.
Hell
does that end your turn, Abelard, or is there anything else you'd like to do?
yeah. No, that's about all I can do.
No worries. So up next we have June. What would you like to do?
I would like to move myself in between Dilbert and the ooze.
Oh,
Just bodily.
You'd have to push Dilbert out of the way.
push it
May I?
into the slide. Yeah, you can push me.
Keep
Thank you.
asking.
Will that
Well,
deal damage?
if I have consent, I have.
So you can just move in between.
Yeah.
I don't really. It's like
Yeah.
if you were resisting, then you'd have to make a roll for it. But
Mm.
you're just pushing through. So Yep.
And then just hands up, sort of like big bodied raccoon. You know when like red pandas like doing the thing where they just sort of stretch themselves out.
can't say I do, but
It's also just stretching yourself out.
I was gonna say like you're just trying to make yourself bigger.
Yeah, as like a bigger target.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop, please.
A roll of persuasion check with disadvantage.
Okay. And I shall be using. Where's my persuasion? Give me 1 sec to read. There we go. Okay.
2 net 20s. Come on.
Okay. 14, and I'm gonna add a D8 to it.
Nice. Use your inspiration.
How does that work? Does it take the lowest roll, then you add the D8 to the lowest roll?
Usually you have to say beforehand that you're adding
Sorry.
D8. I might have just missed it though.
No, I didn't say it.
In 1 year. But yeah, next time make sure you say it beforehand.
Will I get inspiration again anytime soon?
Who knows?
Yes.
If you make some cool moves, then yeah, maybe.
17.
17. You watch as it seems to take on what you're saying, kind of absorbing it for a second. And it seems to attempt to push past you to deal with it.
Okay.
So, when you said please stop,
Yeah.
it's going to reply back to you in Infernal.
I can't.
That's the end of my turn, I presume. I don't think I've got another response. Like, time wise.
No. So,
Yeah.
alright, that'll end your turn.
I want to just ask. Are you guys saying this? Are you guys saying this to the group after you have this conversation, or would I
You don't
have
have.
no clue?
No,
yeah,
you just,
yeah,
each
okay, so
turn is 6 seconds.
You would
so
hear us responding in like a different
So I
language.
just
You know
Bill
that
has no idea.
You know that I pushed you out of the way and I'm doing a big
Yeah, I understand that, and I'm still confused.
Cool.
Alright, so that
What do you
ends
think
June's
I'm
turn, and then up next we have A9. What would you like to do?
I think I might be talking, because I think there's enough going on that it's gonna stop me from attacking. June, what on earth? What are you saying? What are they saying? And you got those down?
No.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can you get a reaction response on that?
Sure.
I choose not to take it. I'm saving my reaction. I'm not being mean.
Okay.
I anticipate needing it.
Is that? Will that be my turn?
You can. You're not. I mean, no. You can still attack if you want.
I don't think I will.
You can hold an action or anything if you like to. I'll let you do that.
What's holding an action?
So it's where you prepare for a specific event. So if the ooze turns towards you, you can say, "I'm holding for when the ooze attempts to attack me, a fireball or something."
You set up a macro.
Or like attacks a person. Like so, say if it attacks still, but you shoot at it or.
I guess I'll.
You can also take dodge, I think, can you, as an
Yeah.
action?
Yeah, you can
So
dodge,
do that.
dash, and disengage as your action.
I don't need to know how to dodge. It's just a thing that.
No, everybody can dodge.
Sure. Well, then I guess I'll do that.
Sure, so that means that they'll
Oh.
get disadvantage on you.
Yep. I guess I'll do that.
Cool. So does that end your turn?
It does.
Alright, up next we have Nandria.
I am standing there. What is going on? I don't know. I'm just like a bit like shocked that because that news monster is like also kind of in front of me too. So I'm just like I feel like I would prefer an dodge action as well because it is right in front of me. And I don't want it.
If you don't want to attack, you can also move within 5 feet still, so you won't get an opportunity attack and attempt to fire at this one.
Okay, I can still do that.
Yeah, I would let you do that.
Awesome. Well, I'll move back. Can I move back this way?
Sure, towards here?
Yeah, and then I will try
Let's
to
double
attack
check.
the-
Sure.
Yeah. We'll try to attack the other one.
Yeah, no worries.
Let's see if I hit.
Please hit.
Please hit, please hit.
I'm desperate.
I believe. Done that one.
Oh.
Do you want some new dice? I've got plenty of dice. You want some new dice?
Okay,
Cast my dice.
Your
Good.
your patron is like gonna like crucify you or something.
I will crucify my patron first.
catching snippets of Infernal, which I think you understand.
No.
You don't?
It's a different one.
Okay.
I don't want to say which one it is, but it's.
I think I know anyway, it's
Yeah.
okay. Catching snippets of this harsh guttural language coming from June and Abelard, and this kind of, I guess, this feeling of almost desperation piece kind of coming from what Abelard's saying. You attempt to duck around, and seeing that Kruger's still in a bit of a sticky situation, pun completely intended, you attempt to fire an Eldritch Blast towards it, but in between where you are and the ooze that you're aiming at, you don't get a good enough hit at the vertebrae, and you kind of just glance over the top of June and A9 and kind of just skirt the side of the ooze. And in your head, you hear,
No.
well, now surely you can do a bit better than that. And does that end your turn?
I'm not responding this time. So, yes, that does end my turn.
Alright. Up next we have Krieger. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm seeing all of them talk in various different languages, but this ooze in front of me still looks content on hurting me.
Yes, it looks like it's actively trying to hurt you.
Good, and then I'm not going to concede to peace. I'm just going to, all bloody and beaten and gunk all in between my feet and my hair, all just like damp and moist. I'm just like, well, I didn't think I'd go out this early in my adventuring career, but
You know, fucking bell.
I'm going to try.
You're gonna try to
I'm going to try to not go out. I love this, guys. 21 to hit.
That hits.
It's behaving now.
When you give them rolls, like this is the attack dice, so it respects its roll.
Ah, is that what I'm doing
Ah,
wrong?
literally. 6, 10, plus 3, 13 points of damage.
Alright. How will it meet its end, Connor?
Oh, yes! That feels good. Literally, I'm going to carve my way. I've carved my way to the spine. I'm going to like grab it, kind of rip it out, stomp on it, and then drive my sword in.
Straight into the vertebrae?
Yes.
Sure. So, as you swing your sword forward, carving through a last little stretch of ooze that's kind of knit itself together in front of the vertebrae, it immediately falls to the side, leaving a large cavernous opening. You thrust your hand in forward, seize it around this fraying rope of the spine, and begin to tug. And you feel resistance at first and hear a pained wail from the creature as you pull harder and harder, and you feel it detach and throw it on the ground, stamp on it, and thrust your sword point down straight into it. And you watch as it kind of shakes for a second, clenching and almost kind of pulling itself up in a C towards you before it falls limp. And the ooze kind of sloughs off.
Hell yeah.
Side. That is done.
If you'll allow me, I don't know Giant as a language. I'm still learning the language, but could we say I know a couple of words?
Yeah, sure.
I would like to say in Giant, victory or death. And
Sure.
That's it.
So you guys all hear this impassioned yell from Kruger as he thrusts the point of his sword directly down into the spinal cord of this ooze-like monster. And that's the end of your turn. Would you like to do anything else? No worries. So up next we have the ooze. So.
Oh god, is it pissed that I killed its brother?
What's it gonna do?
Yeah, sure. What is it gonna do?
You watch as it whips its head around towards the body of the other ooze, and actually roll an insight check for me. Anybody who's watching the ooze closely.
Anyone?
Mostly these two because they can communicate with it. You wouldn't really know what's happening.
Yeah.
8.
I'm 6.
Too sad.
Oh,
What was that?
Bad die.
What did you get?
6.
8.
Alright, so you watch for a monster that's been set out on killing you, now that you've communicated with it, you know that it is sentient and that it does possess feelings and thoughts. But oozes are tricky beasts to read, and you immediately watch as something flickers over its face and then is gone in a flash, and you don't quite catch what it's feeling in that moment. But it goes forward and just shoulders past you to get it within 5 feet of Dilbert.
Can I resist that at all?
Sure.
I've got -2 to strength, but
I rolled a natural 20.
Well,
So,
even if I did get a natural in return.
so that's a 24.
The dice
I
tell a story.
literally cannot beat that. Would you like me to roll anyway?
Sure.
The fun of it.
Nat 20 begat Nat
3.
So you attempt to shield Dilbert, making yourself bigger and kind of attempting to block the path of this ooze. But as if it's swatting away a fly, it backhands you just out of the way, and you feel a heavy impact from the back of its hand against you. You won't take any damage though. Just for flavour, and it's going to go for you, Dilbert, and it is going to attempt to make 2 attacks on you. And would you like me to roll?
And look around and go, what happened, everyone?
Would you like me to roll in front of the screen? Do you want to see or do you want me to tell you?
No, just tell me.
Sure.
Are you really going to kill Dilbert?
That's a 19 for the first one.
Yeah.
She's really good.
And an 11 for the second. Okay.
It's all come back to me.
That is a 12.
Okay, I'm down, but I'm not dead.
No worries. So you watch as it lets out another yell and seizes you by your waist, crushing in with this massive net of a hand. You can feel the claws digging into your skin, kind of pushing in further, deeper, and you feel it touch bone as it begins to pick you up and throw you back down, letting out an angry yell. You feel your face impact hardly on the ground, and scrapes kind of still tears in your eyes. It kind of scrapes now along the side of your face. You are unconscious.
Yeah, I'm down.
Right, you guys all watch as Dilbert topples over. You didn't roll that far. Why did you roll that far? There must be a slope. Sorry.
Slippery slope.
This is a slippery slope.
Mm.
Alright. So that will end the ooze's turn. Ooh, my voice break. Madeline, what would you like to do?
Do you think I've noticed everybody trying to talk to it?
What's your passive perception?
15?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I kind of get on what they're trying to do, so I'd like to go over to it and kind of. Is there any way I could do some kind of animal handling thing? Because
well, it depends. What would you like to do?
I'd like to try and get it to slow down, try and stop. Try and go.
Okay. Alright, roll an animal handling check for me, please.
Nat 20.
Nat 20, nice.
I had a +5, so 25.
25?
Nice. So, what do? You just wave at it?
Yeah, because I know I can't speak to it. Maybe I'll say something in Elvish. I'll be like, please stop, please stop.
Sure. So, as you begin to wave your hands in front of it, you watch as its singular focus on Dilbert kind of whips around towards you and growls at you, but then begins to retreat and back away towards where Nardri is.
It's okay.
It doesn't look like it's going
Well,
far.
if it tries.
It looks like it's backing up from you.
Now kill the only person that wanted to kill him.
Alright, does that end your turn, or is there anything else you'd like to do?
We need to change your spells.
These are so accurate to my character.
You got a healing word.
Yeah.
I'll cure wounds as well.
Next we have Dilbert with a death save.
Is that a 1?
That is a fail.
No, that's 2 fails.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it that one?
That one's a 2 fails.
Oh,
Alright.
Don't worry. I got it.
If someone, yeah, that's bad.
What spell slots left?
So, floating in this, you feel like you're gently kind of floating in this realm of unconscious. You can see, in your mind's eye, you can hear the flap of wings kind of.
Oh no!
Just kind of lulling you gently in this space that you're in.
He died sad. If he died, he's gonna die sad.
No, he's got
Alright, next we have Avalon. What would you like to do?
Alright. Just from character perspective, I'm gonna put a hand on Dilbert's chin and cast Spare the Dying so it's stable.
Sure.
Oh, clutch.
So, what does that mean for me?
You are. I'm
So
not
you're stabilized.
Okay.
Oh no, are you at 1 hit point or is it? Are you just stable?
Stable.
Cool.
That's.
How do I do that on here?
You just
Just give yourself 0 hit points, maybe. And then
No, just 3 successes.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
You could just ignore it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so it's not attacking anyone right now.
No, it's backing away from melee.
Cool. Can I say in Primordial Peace?
Yeah.
Does it respond?
So you watch as it, still backing away, kind of gently whipped its head towards you.
I know no peace.
Oh.
Doesn't seem to be aggressive towards you though.
No
Just
attack?
angsty. this kind of warm, comforting feeling, almost as if you're flying on the back of a dragon. Just the gentle beating of wings, kind of rocking you side to side. Though you still remain unconscious. Alright, so that'll end your turn, Abelard. Up next we have June. What would you like to do?
I want to move up to Dilbert.
Yeah.
Who I think it's just next to me.
Just next to you, yeah.
Yeah, I want to touch him and cast Cure Wounds,
Nice.
Sure.
which will roll in a second, and you get 5 hit points back.
Hey, it does the job.
What do you? So you just reach out to touch anyone, do it, or?
Just, yeah,
Sure,
just
so-
snout, classic How to Train Your Dragon.
So June reaches out, laying their hand on Dilbert's snout as the smile kind of curls up at the edges, and Dilbert, you feel overcome with a buoyant kind of light sense of fun and happiness, almost as if you're listening to somebody tell a really great joke. Does that end your turn?
No. Then I would like to use what words would you allow me? How long? What would I be able to
I mean, you can say a phrase, but you won't get a response. You can't say a monologue.
What do you want? What can we do?
Okay.
In Infernal, not just.
What do you want then?
Hey, what do you want?
Alright, does that end your turn now?
Yeah, that ends my turn.
Up next we have A9. What would you like to do?
Do I see any like loose chains or anything like that on the ground? Or rope, perhaps?
Roll an investigation check for me, please.
Is this my turn?
Yes, it is your turn.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'll let you do it. Are you asking if you want an action afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have an action.
Okay. So 13 on the investigation check.
13. Yeah, you can see on the rack there's kind of coiled around the bottom and suspended from the large kind of almost crucifix-like cross.
There's a sort of rope hanging out of a weird hole in the ground.
There is a rope that's in the puddle.
So which one's closer to me and how far away?
The
is
puddle
it?
would be closer to you, probably within 5 feet of you.
5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be plausible for me to somehow tie the rope or bind one of its limbs?
Yeah, you can push past everyone and get into melee range with it, and then you can make a strength check for me. Unless you're using a spell to bind it. I don't know if you have
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, what kind of check?
a strength, please.
Okay.
And I will roll a strength check behind you.
Oh, it's natural 20. It was not. It was a 14.
14. Rolled a 16. So I rolled a 16, so you managed to bind it.
Oh, wait.
No.
Your strength
you
check,
roll
what did you roll?
14.
Ah, I see. Sorry. Yeah, so you just attempt to kind of loop this rope around its arm that's facing towards you, kind of held out to push you all back. But just kind of reaching up towards it, you attempt to wrap it around the wrist of this ooze monster, and it almost seems to slide through the layers of goo that make up the monster. Kind of seems to... It seems to arrest its momentum. So it doesn't seem to be moving back anymore.
Sure.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
You didn't answer my question. I find that very rude.
I very much forgot about your question.
No, I think that's my turn.
No worries. Navia, what would you like to do? Huh? You had a whole turn to think about it.
I know, but like,
Better it.
no, I'm good. I don't want to do that whole death saves thing that you have to go through. I'm alright, actually.
It's terrifying. It's very scary.
Okay, fine. Oh, I don't want to do anything to it. There's nothing that I can do. Like,
What language?
Get creative.
You can attack it, smack it over the back of the
I
head.
can attack it though. Like Nadria, like what Nadria would do is completely stay out of its way, avoid it, don't touch it because it doesn't seem to be attacking anything, and Nadria does not want to get involved into it.
You can do that. You can take a dodge. You can.
I can help Emma, but then it might anger it. Nadria doesn't want to put themselves in that kind of situation. Like, okay,
Just pet
pet it.
Reach out and just pat it. So
I literally could use
a big old
and
dog.
pat it.
I think you should. I think you should pat it.
Not
With
doing
mage
it.
hand.
Okay, I think
Mage hand.
yeah.
Mage hand to pat.
Would I be able to grab the rope that Emma did using Mage Hand and put that on the thing? Because it's a rope.
Mage hand you can't cast as a bonus, can you? Or is it a bonus action? I'm gonna say no because you don't have Mage Hand already out.
Okay.
So you can just cast it, but you wouldn't be able to use it.
I don't know what to do.
You can dodge. You can.
Yeah, I guess I'll just
Um,
hold for a dodge just to make sure.
or you can hold an action if you like.
Yeah, okay, I'll hold it actually.
4.
Yeah.
With holding action
Bless you,
for like an Eldritch
James.
Blast be okay when it trying to attack me?
If it tries to attack you, you want to hold a ball? Sure. And you're holding Eldritch Blast, I'm assuming? Cool. Yeah, so you focus on creating this black and red ball in your hand. The fire now is crawling all the way up, almost to your shoulder. And you hold it there for a second, just watching closely to see whether those will turn towards you. Alright, so does that end your turn?
Yeah.
Up next we have Kruger.
I'm just like leaning on my sword, really beaten. Like I'm just looking at all of this happening, and I'm just yelling to the group, "Are we done? Are we done with this or what?"
Alright. I mean, somebody can respond if they want.
I have no idea.
Neither.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Maybe. Just don't do anything. Wait, let us talk.
Sure. Does that end your turn?
Can I use my action to make an insight check on the ooze?
Yes.
Just because I want to know what the hell this thing's thinking, whether it's trying to trick us or. No, that's a 9.
Having just brutally slaughtered another ooze,
I'm convinced it wants to fight.
You're not too sure. You're conditioned to think that they're gonna go for your throat and attack you straight away.
I will.
It's a bit hard to read this one from the distance that you're at the moment.
I'm far away. Good, I'm far away. I'm gonna walk. You know what? Bugger it. I'm gonna walk over to that table.
Yep. You want to get behind the table, or do you just want to stay in front?
I'll get under it. I'm
Okay.
small.
Sure.
I'm just gonna like. and like slide out on the other side.
So
and
you duck underneath the table, sliding down and popping out the other side.
yeah, and then I'll use my action next turn to like inspect that table. 'Cause
Sure.
It looks like there's a book or something there. So.
Alright.
then.
Does that end your turn?
Yeah. I'm not in any condition to fight.
Up next is the ooze.
Can I asked a question on my turn. I just wanted, in case we didn't remember.
I
Sure,
also
what's
asked
the
a question.
The question was, what do you want?
What do you want?
I said no attack.
No.
Now question.
No attack with question.
No attack.
No attack.
No attack?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, you watch as the ooze turns towards you, having the right before A9 loops the rope around it, and it turns towards you and says,
To defend.
and for you, no attack. It says, let me I'll roll another one. It says,
I was trying, but it's what I'm made for.
and for the ooze's turn, seeing that A9 attempted to bind it,
No.
it's going to attempt to grab you and slam you.
I think we're going to run.
No, I feel like it's. I don't.
Right, so for the first one, I rolled
Yeah, no. it's probably
a 10.
Wait, if it beats my armor
If it
class.
beats it, beats it, yeah.
Well, that hits then.
Your armor class is 10.
I have no armor.
They literally started not with anything, so
Alright,
they had nothing. You gave yourself the biggest
Does
disadvantage.
your class not have any like additional?
They chose
I
not
got
to
plus
take any.
one.
second one is 12, but that hits also. So
Wow.
you watch as it pulls your arm. You feel the huge mitt clamp around your wrist, ooze dripping down your forearm and over your hand and kind of dripping down onto the ground. And it bodily picks you up and just slams you down once and then twice. And that is going to be
No, I think.
Oh,
11 for the first one,
I'll take it back.
14 for the second.
Yeah, it's well and truly down.
Oh my
Alright.
These things are very powerful.
Yay!
You watch
Yeah, cool.
as A9, the rope slides out of A9's hand, and immediately you feel a kind of a chink forming in your metal exterior, and you kind of hear cracks as you smack back down twice on the stone and drift off into what you assume is a slumber or stasis.
We said shut down.
Alright, that is going to end the ooze's turn. Actually,
That's the boot up.
Do.
That's it. It's been so long since I usually knows XP.
actually, the ooze, after your natural 20, is going to resume now that the binding didn't work and it's made its attack against its aggressor, seeing him fall down, is going to move back. So you guys get an opportunity attack. That would be the three of you. So June, Abelard, Maylin, and you're only holding for when it was attacking you. Okay, it's retreating, so unfortunately you don't get to fire your attack.
Do you want it?
Yeah, I'm questioning now because.
We've gone this far.
But he said that he can't not attack. He has to attack us. And he's just picked up one of our guys and slammed him to the ground twice.
He's backing away now, though.
Do whatever Avalon
That's
does.
great. If someone shot you and then backed away, I probably would still go, probably not
It
friendly.
said it was defending something.
Yeah,
so
I think
do
it was
we-
just like made to
do we-
attack
do
whatever
we
attacks it.
Do we still want to explore what this tomb is? I'm saying this out.
Well,
Oh,
do whatever
I know I'm
Yeah.
not taking my opportunity attack.
I'm wondering what Abelard would do. Soldier guy hasn't said he surrenders specifically. Cool. I'm gonna trust Abelard.
Okay, go for it. So seeing it just smack A9 into the ground several times
22 to hit.
and pull back, definitely hits. You go to carve a slash across its
5
chest.
damage.
5 damage. Okay.
Slowly but surely.
You carve open a large gash in its torso, and it seems to rear in pain and then focus on you. Alright, and you two aren't taking an opportunity attack?
It's really hard because I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what the thing is saying. I'm just trying to read the whole situation. It's really hard for Maylin because some people are attacking, some people are not. I wanted to not attack, but then it's attacking. Ah!
Well, if it simplifies things, you've just seen A9 get smacked into the stone. You've seen it pull back and attempt to retreat, and Abelard go across and slash it.
Could I try and get it to retreat again by backing it up again?
So that would be on your turn.
Oh.
So technically this is a reaction at the moment, though your turn is next, so I will let you do that next. June, you're not taking an opportunity attack?
No.
Okay, and Malin, just before we get into it, you're not taking an opportunity attack? Sure. So on your turn you want to roll another animal handling check for me, please.
14.
14. That's bad dice, man. It seems so confused and kind of pulled in every which direction with people telling it to surrender. It's trying to, but then it keeps getting attacked, and then it's a vicious cycle. So, unfortunately, this time you watch as the ooze monster doesn't seem to retreat, but seems to just stay focused on Abelard. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I don't think there's much I can do. I'll probably just not do anything.
Sure. Up next we have Dylan. So you're on 10 hit points, is it? So you're 5, but you're...
I'm up.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Can I stand up?
Yes, absolutely.
Do I still get my actions?
This is just your movement. So
Okay,
your movement
sweet.
is reduced by 5. Or is it 10? No,
And
5.
you're not counting Firebolt as an attack in terms of my...
I will if it hits.
If it hits.
I will if it hits, yeah. Otherwise, no.
Do we presume that Maylin stood up for our animal handling?
What do you mean?
Isn't
Maylin is
Maylin-
up, that's A9.
Oh, that's A9, okay. I thought that was still Maylin just like hanging out on the ground like, what are you doing? Stop.
Please stop.
I'm down here, but don't do it.
I'm not going to stop attacking it. 1, because it killed me, and 2, because I'm in a bit of a...
Sure, so you're advancing on it?
No, I'm going to attack from a distance.
Oh, right, Firebolt, sorry.
And I'm not going to use flurry of blows anyway. Oh no, but you guys aren't even attacking.
Well, I just stabbed it.
Yeah, I know, but if I use Draconic Cry again, would it be used by anyone?
I probably couldn't get to it in time. Too far away.
Oh yeah, you're all the way behind this.
Well, I thought we were done.
So, Dilbert, what are you doing?
Can I do a perception check and still have an action?
Perception check for what?
Just on the ooze.
Sure,
Just
roll an
on
insight
the-
check.
Oh, the inside, yeah. That'll be a 18.
Alright, and what are you looking for just to see if it's going to attack?
Emotion.
With an 18, you can see that it's feeling very conflicted. You get a feeling that this ooze doesn't necessarily want to attack, but because it's retaliatory. So because people are attacking it, it's going to attack them. And its purpose, you feel, was to defend the space, hence why it attacked in the first place.
I can't speak any of the languages that it's...
At the moment, it is focused on Abelard. Looks as if it's going
Yeah.
to attack.
Can I...
You can talk in common.
Can I just hold my action and then still use a bonus action?
No, so holding your action
Okay.
is your entire action.
Can I use a dodge action and then use a bonus action?
No, because your dodge is technically... So...
If you're just taking the dodge action, you'd still take
Oh, because I want to use my Draconic Cry, which is a bonus action, but I don't want to hit it.
You've already rolled an insight check though.
Yeah.
So I was counting that as your bonus action.
Oh, okay.
So,
So I can't use a draconic cry as a normal action.
no.
Okay.
You can use your draconic cry as a bonus action, and I'll make your insight check. Your action.
Yeah.
You can do that, yeah.
Can I kind of use my draconic cry as a form of trying to like stop it, like one, get it to focus on me, but also be like a warning cry, because it will make everyone kind of have advantage. So in a way, it's like I'm telling it to back off without actually speaking to it.
What does it actually say for draconic cry?
It says you let out a cry at enemies within 10 feet of you.
That's all it says?
Yeah.
Then yeah, sure, I don't see why you couldn't use it as that if you're... It's technically you're giving others advantage on the ooze, so
Yeah, I'm sort
if
of
you want to use it as a
scaring
warning to
sort
try
of,
and
yeah.
get it to cower away, yeah? You could
To
try
try and
that.
get it to either back off Abelard or just like kind of halt the fighting.
Sure, we'll see. So that's definitely what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Alright, I will... Okay. So,
and on top of that, everyone has advantage. Yeah.
sure. So as you bellow out this cry, the ooze seems to still be focused on Abelard. Though it does seem to... You rolled an 18 on your insight, yeah? So it seems to be reluctant to attack. But still seems focused on Abelard at the moment. Alright, does that end your turn?
Yeah.
No, up next we have Abelard.
Cool. I'm gonna go primordial to him out of the ooze. I'm just gonna be like, don't hit anyone. I won't hit you. And I'll like put the knife back in its sheath. I'll be like,
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage because you did just
yeah.
slice it open.
Does putting the knife away help at all?
For flavour, yeah, but for rolls, no,
What about
since
my
you just
cry?
used that against it.
My cry didn't help with it.
Can I use my inspiration and then a d8?
Yeah.
To the lowest roll, I assume? Or should I roll 2 d8s?
Yes, to the lowest roll.
Cool. Please, one of you behave.
You need to throw that one out.
Yeah, that one's cursed. 6.
6.
Persuasion.
Persuasion. 7.
7. So, having this discussion in Primordial, you get the sense that the ooze feels betrayed by you. You were trying to cooperate and get it to form a truce first, and then you slashed it open, and now you're telling it not to attack you. The ooze is confused.
Can I use my movement to back away?
Yes, it's not
Cool.
within 5 feet of you at the moment, so.
Cool, I'm gonna back 20 foot back.
Alright, so you have to go around the corner, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, like, just like kind of straight line towards Kruger almost.
Okay. I'm gonna say you get to there.
Cool.
Okay. Does that end your turn?
Yep.
No worries. Up next we have Juniper. What would you like to say? Oh, I've been stabbed in the eye by something.
You're good?
All good. I think it's eyelash attacking me. Hard being a DM.
What are you defending?
You're
to
asking him that?
the ooze.
In Infernal, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
The ooze is going to stay where it is, look back at you and say,
I can't tell you.
Can we leave it alone?
Not if you're here.
and that's going to end your turn. Would you like to move?
Yeah, I'll move closer.
Okay.
Just
Within
Well-
5 or no?
yeah, within 5.
Okay. Yep.
Not like pushing up to it, but staying with it.
More helping Greg.
Alright.
How to train your ooze.
A9, what would you like to do?
I guess
Oh,
I'm
are
rolling the
you?
saving throws.
Yeah.
Are you still unconscious?
Oh shit, I
I
must do
forgot.
that.
Roll a d20, man.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roll a physical d20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 or higher, that's what you want. You get,
Prayer circle.
get a nat 20 and then we'll roll it.
No, it's not that one.
Two?
That's
Yeah, so
true.
that's
That
one
is
fail.
not.
Ooh.
Just a fail, sure.
I could. Oh, it's like 11.
Yeah.
Alright. That'll be Nadia up next. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna glance, what is holding out? Is the other toss still just being held until the time?
No, so you
it's
have
not.
to use it up, yeah.
Awesome, alright. I kinda glance at Avalon, because in my line of sight, and I'm just like, what are we doing to this thing? What is going on? What are you saying?
Get a short response.
Dirt attack. Leave it. I'm gonna say loud enough so hopefully everyone can hear it. Just dirt attack.
Do I hear that?
Yeah, you're right next to.
Yeah, yeah, right there. Yeah, cool. Sweet.
Okay.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I guess I'll ask for what can I
If you want, or you can make a medicine check on A9 to try and stabilize him. If you want.
Yes, you
Anybody,
can.
anybody can.
Does that work with an Arkanoid?
Yeah. I'm not going to punish you for being an Arkanoid. Yes, it
Because if you're a unique race, nobody can help you.
yeah, that would, if you want to move
Yeah,
over.
would I be able to do that?
Sure. Head on over.
Yeah.
18 plus 220.
Yep, that's stabilised, definitely.
Awesome.
There you go. You're not making death saves anymore, James.
Yes, no death saves, you've been stabilised. So, looking at this Arkanoid, you've never really worked on an Arkanoid before, so you've only briefly seen Olya tinkling with them. It's 11, I'm trying to.
Oh, I'm just tinkle you.
Tinkering! Alright. Just tinkling, like just playing. Tinkering with this Arkanoid. And you can see a faint glow from within the chest cavity of A9. You open it up and you can see that it's slightly, it's crooked. So reaching your hand out, you snap it back into place and you feel a and it seems as if the whirring of the horror box core seems to be in the right position now. You assume you did a good job.
Awesome.
Alright, so up next we have Kruger. What would you like to do?
What's on the table?
What's on the table?
Give it here.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Damn it.
Just kind of.
Immediately on the table you can see things like candles, an open book,
Ooh, damn, that
a
rolled away.
small chest.
So 6. No.
Yeah, you see pretty much what I just told you. Candle, open book, that you can't read it in your haste to kind of flick over everything. You can see several manuscripts kind of pushed under.
Can I see what language it's written in, even though I can't read
Seems like common.
Okay. Doesn't sound. Literally.
Up next we have the ooze, and the ooze is going to immediately move past all of you
Oh.
and go straight up to Avalon.
You didn't seem like you were retreating.
No,
What?
Can I
not.
resist that at all?
you want to, if you attack
Is
it,
it
yeah.
moving through me? Or
It's
just.
moving around you to get
Nah,
to
never mind, I can't resist that then.
You can
Yeah.
attack it.
No, I don't want to attack it.
Wow, thanks.
No, that's okay. If you go down.
Okay,
maybe
it's
it'll
going to
finally
make
bugger off.
2 slam attacks against you.
No.
Ooh, I rolled shit.
Good.
That's an 11.
Cool. That's 16 AC.
That is a 17.
Yeah, that hits.
No worries.
Wunderbar. No. What is it?
Why are the thing even rolling? You might just.
Tudor, why? Where was the other one, Tudor, or was this one that you were talking about?
That
Oh,
is
Tudor.
a
Oh,
13.
okay.
No, I'm down.
Alright, so
No.
you watch as this ooze immediately tries to grasp you in its hands, kind of pressing and squeezing. And as you are lifted up into the air, hoisted above the ooze, and brought back down, you hear in primordial a deep feeling of regret and apology. And in infernal, you hear
Sorry.
Yeah.
and you are knocked unconscious. Alright, so that will end the ooze's turn. Up next we have Melon.
Can I ask a specific question? Did the ooze actively choose to knock it unconscious, or is Lucky now rolling death saves?
So it was just an attack action, so you are rolling death saves.
Okay.
It's just a straight up attack. Alright, Melon, what would you like to do?
Just keep doing what I've always been doing. I've got good animal handling, so. Because I can't talk to it, I'm gonna do hand movements. I guess I'll go up to it, try and back it away again.
Okay,
I just want to keep it away from everybody.
sure, roll an animal handling check for me, please. So as you go to put your hands up and kind of wave at it, the ooze begins to kind of turn and remain stationary for a moment. Doesn't seem to be advancing or retreating.
What a great voice for the time. I'll stay there then.
Alright, so does that end your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, so up next we have Dilbert. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna run over. I have 40 feet of movement
Mm-hmm.
to Abelard around the ooze. And can I do a medicine check to stabilize?
Yep.
That is a 17.
Sure. So, seeing Abelard perform many medicine checks in the short time that you've known him, you look down at the wounds, determining that it's mostly seems to be blunt force, bludgeoning, that caused him to fall unconscious, and you begin to kind of press down and find where the wound might be, and see kind of a bone out of place, and begin to kind of attempt to reset it and shock Abelard back into kind of a stable point. Okay. So will that end your turn?
That's my action.
Yes.
Can I use the bonus action to just hold my hands up in the same kind of position that Melon's in?
Yeah, sure.
And just like kind of surround it sort of and just kind of do my
Sure.
back off.
Yeah, no worries.
Are we gonna power of friendship this group?
Stable.
Yeah, you're stable.
Cool.
Alright, so Abelard, you're stable at the moment. No hit points though, so no death saves for you, but still unconscious. Oh no, yes, still unconscious. June, you're up next.
I'm gonna move up to Abelard in the game.
Step over A9.
Yeah.
Are you
They're stable.
You're stable, we're stable.
Alright.
Is there a possibility? You know what? It's fine. Can we stop and talk?
Roll a persuasion check.
Thank you.
I really hope you get this.
Me too. I'm ready to be chatting and not having to wait for turns of combat. Persuasion. Unless it dies.
I don't think this is gonna die.
Wait, nat 20.
Yeah.
24.
Now that's the nat 20 we need.
Having not received an attack from anyone in the past round of combat, you watch as the ooze monster directs their focus to you, kind of seeing Dilbert holding his hands up and Madeline holding hers up and kind of trying to placate it and kind of de-escalate the situation. You watch as the ooze says,
I feel time for talking is over.
Do I have any more movement left on my turn?
I would say not, no.
Do it. Okay. What do I have left? What do you got for me?
Bonus action, that's about it.
Bonus action talk?
Yeah, if you want to.
Peace or death?
Point to the corpse.
You're lucky you're behind us.
Point to the corpse of his friend. That's so fucked.
There is only one out for me.
That's the end of my turn. I can't do anything.
Up next we have A9. A9 is stable though, so no death saves for you, but you're just floating in like a liminal space.
After a short rest, you regain, I think, 8 hit points. So business.
Alright, so up next we have
I'm
Nightmare.
pretty sure.
Unless someone hits you.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, unless someone hits you.
What's the crack?
I look at June and I'm like, what are you saying to it?
Am I allowed my interaction of chat?
Yeah, just a short reaction.
We're killing it.
Oh
my God.
I'm just like, kill it.
We tried.
We did try.
Even with a nat 20 too, goddamn.
I was purposefully vague.
Mm. Well, you just replied that we're killing it.
We took due diligence.
What are you gonna do?
Well then, goodbye.
If I attack it, I know I'm dead. I have 13, 15 max, so
Well, I have 17 now.
it will knock me down if I try.
Well, it will knock me down to attack me too. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's me, I suppose.
We're not buying 20
Was that talking my bonus action, or was it
Yeah, bonus action, sure, we'll say that.
So can I use my action once again to just hold an Eldritch Blast in case it decides to attack me?
Yes, may do that.
That is what I want to do.
Alright, so you begin to focus again on this black and red eldritch energy ball, watching very closely to see what the ooze will do next. And at this point, the flames have curled up and begin to kind of lap at your cheek, and you can hear the roaring in your ears. Alright. Up next, we have Kruger.
Okay. Okay. Can I get into a flanking position with May? I'm guessing that's May over there?
Mm-hmm.
I'll get into a flanking position with it, and I'm going to hold my attack if it hits anyone.
Okay. Sure. Does that end your turn?
Yeah, I'm just holding it.
Up next, we have the oozes.
Yeah.
You watch as the ooze begins to look around at all of you, looking back at June, and says in Infernal,
I appreciate the effort.
and you watch as the ooze retreats back towards the edge of the room and begins to attempt to converge with a large, like almost bulbous sack of ooze.
Sack of ooze.
Bulbous sack of ooze.
Sack door.
And you can see it begins to converge, though it is like half in, half out at that state. Technically, you guys do get an attack of opportunity on it, whoever's in.
No,
kind of
No,
thing.
no.
Just retreat.
Yeah, no.
Alright. So, full round will pass, and you watch as the ooze slowly becomes absorbed again into the layers of goo that kind of coat this room from floor to ceiling, all across the walls, and begins to kind of dissolve and dissipate, spreading out. And you can see a faint shimmer as if it's travelling up the wall back to the ceiling.
Ooh.
And that will conclude our combat.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Wait, we
God.
lived?
Jesus Christ.
How are we feeling? Do we want to end there? Do we want to continue?
I'm happy to get going. I'd say everyone else.
What did you say?
I'm happy to get going.
I'm happy to do some
I'm happy to
housekeeping
going.
or like sort out some conversations.
Yeah, I reckon.
Alright. So we will take a quick break though, and return in a moment. Thank you all for sticking with us. That was a long time without a break, so we will see you shortly. Ciao. Hello everybody, welcome back. Slight change of plans. Got some feedback. They're a bit tired at the table tonight, so unfortunately we are going to keep it a pause here and pick up for next session to investigate what exactly happened with the oozes, what the nature of them is, and what exactly is happening in the room, and where we go from here. So thank you all so much for joining us and for sticking with us through a really long fight sequence, but I hope you enjoyed it all the same. Something definitely different here. So stick with us for next time. If you haven't caught up on the rest of the sessions, then, go ahead and check them out on the Chronicle stream, YouTube channel, link below. You can also check us out on all different forms of social media, also linked below. A reminder, check out Lockie's Descent into Avernus. It was a lot of fun. I think you'll really enjoy it. Pretty gruesome. If you like blood and gore, that's the place to go. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. It's always a pleasure, never a chore, and much love. So see you later.
Peace out, everyone.